The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Well, there you see the chip count. Aaron Kweskin out in front with nearly 7.7 million. That's what they're playing for. The winner tonight taking home 675,000.
That's right. Andy's 10,000 blinds are 40 and 80 at this point. There's the beautiful Hublot watch the champion will get. Action's on Brent Roberts, tough pro out of Brooklyn. He quickly folds.
Aaron Kweskin out as well. Now over to Freddy Deeb.
Two-time WPT champion Freddy Deeb with a king deuce. What's he gonna do? He is gonna raise it.
Well, Freddy is never the guy to wait around for aces and kings to play. He plays the two king.
Stan Jablonski out, and now Mike Shariati. He's gonna call with a queen jack. Craig Chait not gonna play. So we have two-way action, Mike, in the very first hand.
You're gonna clown me all day.
Here's the flop.
Oh, nice flop for Mike. He's flop top two pair. Well, Freddy makes a good check here.
No continuation bet, very well done. And Mike is going to bet a 335.
To all those guys that think the continuation bet is automatic, wrong. Freddy just sensed that flop hit his opponent. He was right.
Now Mike Shariati got in this tournament through a $400 satellite. Takes down hand number one.
Well, Vince, he not only plays good poker, but he's a genetic engineer. He has degrees in molecular biology and biochemistry. That's pretty impressive.
Stan Jablonski now, out of Bullhead City, Arizona.
He's a business owner. Has been for 25 years.
He goes out. Mike now looking down at a queen nine after taking the first hand. Nope.
You gotta play the rush, man. You can't fold.
3 in a row.
Huh?
I got my threes, so.
Well, you gotta keep playing every hand till you lose one.
Craig will fold. And now Brent Roberts with queen five of clubs. Sees an opportunity. He will raise to 175. And now Freddy Deeb with a pair of kings.
Well, you knew what was going on. I'm gonna re-raise this one. That's why you folded, right?
I folded.
I raised.
Freddy heating up with a big hand.
600 more.
Brent was just taking a stab there. Has to fold a hand. And Freddy Deeb takes down that one. Doesn't even have to see a flop.
Vince, I was almost wondering if we were in the right building tonight for a World Poker Tour event, because nobody at the table is under 30 years old. There's no hoodies. There's no sunglasses. Are we in the right place?
All right, back to the action.
All right, Craig Chait, the 34-year-old, moving all in here with ace-jack.
How much is it?
A couple folds around to Freddy Deeb, who has picked up ace-king.
855.
All in for 855.
What he's contemplating here is whether she call or re-raise to shut out the blinds.
He's got a huge hand. Poor Craig
Make it 17.
could become the victim. And there's the raise.
Yeah, that's what Freddy has done. Re-raising to try to shut out the blinds. Stan Jablonski not going to call with the 9-6.
Yeah, but now Mike Shariati's got ace-9 of spades.
Well, he understands Freddy's trying to isolate, but you just can't call with that hand in a three-way pot.
He does not, and now Craig shows his measly ace-jack. Horribly up against the ace-king. Craig lives in Newport Beach, California, a local. He's on the ropes right now, and Craig, of course, idolizes Freddy Deeb.
Yeah, says that's his favorite poker player. You wonder if that'll be the case if he gets knocked out by Freddy here.
5 cards to come to possibly remain a legend here in LA at the Bicycle Casino. Here we go with the first 3. Here's the flop. He's no help for Craig. Queen 8-3. So great flop for Freddy. Freddy, be proud. Stand up. Oh, he is standing up. Going to the turn.
He has the jack spade in his hand. It cannot come. It'll be a misdeal. It'll be a misdeal.
So there's a spade.
Now that gives a flush opportunity for Craig here. So now he needs a spade or a jack to win the pot to stay
He had
alive.
2 spades. It's not coming.
No, it's coming. It's coming.
He had 2 spades. It's not coming.
7 more?
Here it goes. It's an 8.
It's 8 of diamonds. That's going to do it for Craig Chait. The 34-year-old from Newport Beach, California. It's going to be our 6th place finish.
That is right. Disappointed. He had a big fan base here. He's going to take home $91,000. Let's go see what he has to say.
You know, when you don't win a tournament, you're always disappointed, but it's been a great ride. Like, it's been a great 5 days, and I had a blast. Like, it was a lot of fun.
Tonight's episode is sponsored by Ublo, the official watch of the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to Los Angeles and the Bicycle Hotel and Casino. 5-handed poker.
Aaron Kweskin from Huntington Beach, California, out in front right now with just over $7 million in chips.
Mike, I'm sorry. Half the crowd was with the guy that got busted. They left.
More than half.
Huh?
More than half.
Well,
Yeah,
that's true.
that's
Craig
what I'm
had a lot
saying.
of fans out here, and they did disperse, but let's get back to this action. Couple folds around to Brent Roberts from Brooklyn. He's got ace-queen. He'll raise it to 175.
Yeah, Brent, the youngest player at the table, had 30 events. I can't remember when we've had a final table with nobody in their 20s.
Aaron Kweskin is called with a pair of 5s.
Don't say I never fold my big blind when you raise, okay?
And the flop is a jack, jack 4.
Well, Aaron's going to check the 2 5s. Here comes a continuation bet by Brent.
Yep, 130. Aaron with a quick call with his 5s.
Well, that'll put the caution lights up for Brent, that's for sure.
Aaron's a restaurant owner.
Deuce of diamonds comes off.
Aaron's going to check it again, and he's going to give Brent a chance to reprieve and hit a queen. Wow. Aaron checking again.
I'm sure Brent now knows he's got a small pair, so he's going to make a value bet here, and it's going to get paid off by Aaron. And Aaron not going to like the way he played this hand, Vince.
Yep.
Didn't raise on the flop to test the waters, checked on the turn, got outdrawn on the river, and then paid him off just to add salt in the wound.
The hash browns got cold there for the restaurant man. All right, well, look at this. A pair of kings here for Brent.
Just outdrew his opponent by hitting a queen on the river, now picks up 2 kings. How sweet it is here in L.A.
Couple folds behind him, and now Stan. The jet ski man, Jablonski, goes out. And now Mike Shariati with an ace-jack.
Well, some people would just call on the big blind with this. Some would 3-bet it. Mike is opting to 3-bet it, and here comes a 4-bet. Right back at him. Boom.
Oh, man, like you should. Brent gonna re-raise to close to 900,000, and now Mike, who, by the way, got in this tournament through a $400 satellite. He's also into martial arts.
Yeah, competed at the national level in martial arts, and right now he'd like to give this guy a karate chop for 4-betting him, I can tell you.
Well, why did he 3-bet? Too aggressive, Mike, and he has to fold a hand.
Well, a good laydown by him, and Brent Roberts picking up the 2nd pot in a row.
That good? That good?
Maybe.
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 Maybe. That's an interesting answer there, Brent. I like it.
Vince, the guy's got 2 kings. His opponent folded. He said, maybe I had the best hand.
Oh, man, you play poker to lie. Just get out there and lie when you can.
It's a cinch you had the best hand. The guy's not laying down aces.
On to the next hand, a fold, and now Freddy Deeb with ace-6.
205.
Seems to like it. Will raise to 205 into Stan Jablonski, who has a pair of 10s.
Yeah, Stan, the oldest player at the table, 59 years young,
He's on the short stack here.
from Bullhead City, Arizona.
There's a jet ski business there.
I'm all in.
And he's going to push all in.
Oh, yeah, he put the throttle open there.
Mike going out. Brent also out. Back around to Freddy. He has to muck it.
2 10s, Freddy.
So the jet ski man, he tells his hand. He said, I had 10s.
There you see Stan's wife, Connie, cheering him on right there. Dan says she's the most amazing wife in the world.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Aaron Kweskin out in front, 6.4 million. As you can see, Mike Shariati in second place with 5.6, and Freddy Deeb with about 5.3 in third place right now.
Let's go to the felt, a quick fold by the water ski man, Stan Jablonski, and now Mike Shariati with a nice queen jack of spades. He's from Irvine, California. He's a local. He's going to raise it to 230 to go. Brent out.
Aaron out.
Now Freddy Deeb with a big ace-king.
He's just calling. Does not 3-bet like most everybody would do in that situation. Gonna camouflage the strength of his hand. The flop comes 8-8-7. No help to either player.
Action on Freddy. He's going to check, and no continuation bet by Mike.
Well, Mike made it easy for Freddy there when he checked behind him.
5 on the turn, and now Freddy's up to some no good. He's going to take a stab at a bluff.
Freddy thinks he's got the best hand here, Vince. The guy would have bet 2 pair on the flop. So Freddy's going to bet the ace-king for 300,000, and Mike, let's see how he can continue with this pot. He's not going to call. He could raise to try to take the pot away from Freddy. But since he checked the flop, he's just going to give it up and let Freddy take it.
Oh, it's such a delightful feeling when you have a hand like ace-king. Nothing connects, but you can steal it on the turn. Just take it away from a guy. Freddy Deeb, a master at that.
Freddy going for his 3rd WPT title tonight. That would time for the all-time win lead.
All right, back to the next one. Brent now with ace-4 of spades. Likes it, makes it 175 to go. The amazing Kweskin goes out.
Freddy gonna play the hand with the ace-5 of clubs. He makes the call.
Stan, the man. Jablonski, the jet ski guy, goes away. And now Mike Shariati with a nothing hand.
Just total junk.
Raise.
Oh, Vince, he's gonna try to squeeze with this. That means the first guy raised, the second guy called, and now he's gonna try to raise the pot, hoping they both go out.
Makes it 480, a very shifty move by Mike Shariati, but Brent from Brooklyn.
Wow, it's like Brent just knows what the guy's doing. He makes the call, and now Freddy's probably thinking,
Freddy calls.
yeah, I'm getting pot odds. I'm gonna call too.
Should I raise more?
You gotta join the party.
Let's see who gets lucky. Here come the first 3.
Now flop queen 9-4.
Brent getting a little piece of that 4.
And he's got bottom pair. Mike is gonna check, no continuation bet with 2 callers. Brent also checks, and Freddy checks.
Going to the turn, an ace. This is very interesting. 2 pair for Brent.
Well, action is on Mike.
Freddy, of course, hitting aces as well.
Well, Mike's going to try to represent a good ace here.
Say it ain't so. Look at this.
It looks like that's what he had, Vince.
Gutsy
when he
plunge.
checked the flop, and now he's betting the turn. But it's not going to work because Brent's got top and bottom pair here.
Let's see if Brent pops it. Nope, just smooth calls.
I don't feel lucky this hand.
Well,
I did before the flop.
Well, Freddy knows, even though he hit aces on the turn, that at least one of them has got him out kicked here, probably. And he gives it up. Good lay down by Freddy.
Big lay down.
River card, 10 of hearts. That connects a lot of things. And Mike wisely checks.
Well, just waving the flag, Vince. Says, you go ahead and take it. I put all the money in this pot I'm putting in there. Doesn't matter what Brent does, he's going to win this pot.
Brooklyn Brent thinking, do I continue to try to extract money?
Well, he's hoping that Mike's got ace, king, race, jack, and might pay him off here, so he's going to go for a value bet.
725, irrelevant. Mike gave it up. So Brooklyn Brent taking down that pot.
You have an ace, Mike?
He wouldn't have folded to that fast if he had an ace.
You have an ace? You don't have an ace. You have a flush, maybe.
I let you guys catch on the turn, huh? Brent? Did I let you catch on the turn?
I don't know.
Come on, you can tell me.
Could have caught the river.
Yeah, Mike is right. Eddie made a continuation bet in the flop fence. He's going to win the pot.
Yep. All right, back to the next one. Shariati again with a suited connector, queen jack of clubs.
Mike raises.
Makes it 210 to go.
I believed it. That's why I folded.
210,000. Brent folds.
Brent out, and now the restaurateur Aaron has picked up kings.
Aaron Kweskin. It's his first ever WPT cash. Been playing poker for 10 years.
He's from Huntington Beach. He's the chip leader, and he is gonna raise to 500. Freddy and Stan out.
Well, Mike is going to make the call here, but they need a lot of help to overcome 2 kings.
Let's see what happens for the restaurant man with the kings.
Well,
it
comes
only gets
King
better.
9-7.
Yeah.
Mike has a gut shot straight draw, but he's going to check. Aaron has flopped top set, just what you dream about. And Aaron is going to make a bet here. He bets 400,000. He's going to get called.
Ooh.
Obviously, Mike hoping to catch a 10 here.
Turn card. 6 of spades.
Not to be 6 of spades on the turn. Mike is going to check.
Now Aaron's saying, hey, this guy called me on the flop. Maybe he'll call me on the turn.
He's saying, hey, there's no free bread and butter here at my restaurant. I'm going to make another bet, 900.
Aaron Kweskin said he's going for the win tonight. Just wants to get his name on that trophy with Doyle Brunson. And right now, he's got a real good shot to do just that. Chip leader. Flop top set here. His opponent finally goes away on the turn, but Aaron Kweskin adding to his chip lead. Yep, Aaron Kweskin still out in front. 7.2 million in chips.
Onto this hand, a couple folds around to Freddy Deeb with the button. He's got queen 6.
Well, gonna make a button raise here.
To 250.
I'm on.
And stand behind him with just a king 10. He's gonna go all in.
Well, Mike quickly out. Freddy's gonna be out as well.
Stan, the jet ski man from Arizona, is gonna make this work.
Yeah, put the throttle forward there. And it worked out well for him. A nice all-in bet there by Stan.
All right, now you got it.
That's
Way
right.
better. Way better.
In the audience, his wife, Connie, and friends.
Yeah, Stan says his wife Connie, the most amazing wife in the world. Very smart of him, Vince, because that means he's going to get together in the next poker tournament.
This is his 6th cash on the World Poker Tour. First final table. Very impressive for Stan.
Yeah, he is thrilled to be here, as is Aaron Kweskin, who's out in front right now.
All right, it's going to be on Mike Shariati. Quick fold by him. Brent out. And now, the great Kweskin, the restaurant man, is going to take a stab with an 8-3. He's going to raise.
Well, he's making a button raise with the 8-3.
But look at this, Freddy Deeb again picking up kings.
Yeah, it's the second time he's had kings at this final table. Had ace-king a couple times. Catching good cards here.
Raise.
He's going to 3-bet it.
6 more.
600,000 more.
Stan goes away, so back on Aaron. He took a stab, and now what to do? Uh-oh.
He is not mucking his hand. He's getting out re-raising chips here.
You're gonna hate yourself in the morning. Don't do it!
Oh, man.
Oh, he's done it.
And he has bet $2.25 million, which is $1.4 million raise over the top of Freddy's raise.
Bold stab, but at the wrong time, perhaps. Almost impossible to lay down kings in a 5-handed poker game, even if you think the guy has aces.
Well, you're fearful he's got him, Vince,
Yeah.
but just not going to lay him down this spot.
You
The
wouldn't
chip leader.
think.
He's got 2 aces. He's just got you. But I think Freddy's just got to move in, Vince. That's about half his stack. And he's smiling.
Man, oh man. Well, I'm all in.
Yeah,
Well, he's got to do it.
you gotta do it. To the discomfort of Aaron,
Maybe 1.4.
and Aaron meekly has to muck.
That play's going to work a lot of times because Freddie's not going to pick up 2 kings.
Mike, you jumped
Three
out of
betting
your
it
seat
there.
when I said
Yeah,
all
I was
that.
gonna go watch it from the other side. I said, okay, I can't stand here.
Well, you got nervous. You're not even in the pot.
No, I want to watch it from far away.
As it is, Freddy Deeb has taken the chip lead in this 5-handed battle.
On to the next hand. A couple folds around to Freddie. Freddie's got Queen 7, the new chip leader.
225.
Gonna make a button raise here to 225,000.
Stan Jablonski, not happy with the 7-5, but Mike with a pair of 4s. Mike will make this call. Hope to get lucky against Deeb. And here's the flop. King, King, 8. No help to either player.
Mike out in front with the 2 4s. Gonna check though. See if Freddie makes a continuation bet here.
Check.
Nope, he checks. Now an ace comes off. Action again on Mike. He's going to check. Freddie now going to represent that he made aces up. He's going to make a bet, 150,000.
Mike getting out raising chips. He's going to raise it to 375 with just a pair of 4s.
What a nice check raise there by Mike.
Into Deeb. He's not throwing this away.
Betsy is going to 3-bet it, it looks like.
What?
What a play by Freddy Deeb with nothing.
This Queen high is going to take a stab, and it's going to work.
975,000 he bets to win the pot. That is playing the game, folks.
Sometimes I bet small with a big hand, too.
Oh, don't start now.
I said big hand, big bet, but sometimes I do bet small.
I noticed that.
Oh.
Not a pair.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, sometimes I bet small.
Nice hand.
Back to the felt. The restaurateur Aaron going out. Freddie taking a breather. And now Stan.
And he's got the Queen 10 offsuit.
All in.
Oh, he's gone all in. Mike going out.
Yeah, on the button, moving all in with Queen 10.
Oh, but Brent has a pretty good ace 10 of spades. And he's going to make the call.
Oh, you got one of my cards. Good hand.
That is not the hand that Stan wanted Brent to have there, I can assure you.
Okay, we need the queen chant.
The jet ski
Need a
man
queen.
caught in his own wake there. He's up against it. He's a dog.
Well, Stan looking for a lady. And his lady, Connie, his wife, comes down to the table to give him a good luck kiss here. He's going to need it. Says she's the greatest wife in the world. Let's see if she's one of the luckiest. Looking for a lady.
Not to be as a 6-5 deuce appears.
Well, the crowd moans because 2 spades came on the flop, giving Brent the nut flush draw.
Well, I still got 2 queens, right?
Down to 2.
Oh, well, 2. Okay, 2 out of 3. Still need the queen of diamonds.
Well, that means Stan
Queen of hearts.
cannot catch a queen of spade and win this pot. Going to have to catch a red queen to win it.
Let's go to the turn. He's a king.
I saw a Payne.
It was Payne. Okay, I gotta swing this one.
Stan Jablonski needs a red queen. Otherwise, he'll be heading back to Laughlin, Nevada to rent out some more jet skis.
Can I use my one time?
You can use your one time.
All right.
Have you never used it before, Stan?
Never used it.
You
This
kept
is
that in
it.
your wallet all these years?
Queen of diamonds.
At least not today.
Well, not today, but I don't think I used it.
Yeah, I know.
Queen of diamonds, one time.
Now, 7 comes off. So handshakes all around from Stan Jablonski, the 59-year-old from Bullhead City, Arizona, out tonight in 5th place.
That is right. Another player falls off the banana seat here at the Bicycle Hotel and Casino. It's Stan taking home $117,000. Let's talk to Stan.
Honestly, just to make the final table was like a goal and a dream of mine, and I'm just elated to be here.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
There you see the chip count. Freddy Deeb going for his third WPT title out in front with about $8 million in chips. And the winner tonight will take home over $675,000.
Oh, and there is the extraordinary Hublot watch that the champion will win. Every poker player's dream. Antes at 10,000, blinds 50 and 100. Let's go to the felt. Couple quick folds. This is Brooklyn Brent Roberts, 30 years old, tough player. He's got Jack 8. He's going to make this call.
Seems like a fair bet.
And Aaron Kweskin.
Well, happy to see a flop with the king deuce offsuit. And he flops 2 kings.
Yep, king 8-3 on the flop.
And it goes check, check with middle pair and top pair. Surprised at that.
King on the turn only gets better for Aaron. And look who's betting, Brent with 8s.
Well, he's got to think he's got the best hand, Vince, after his opponent checked the flop.
Nice smooth call there by Aaron. Queen of hearts on the river. Brent slowing down.
Well, Aaron's going to bet $400,000 and is going to get paid off here. I'm sure Brent thought he had a spade draw when he called on the turn. Would never put him on a king the way that hand was played. So he pays him off, said nice hand. Aaron Kweskin taking down the pot.
Aaron lives locally in Huntington Beach, California. Used to play professionally, but now he gave it up. Has a restaurant. Plays a lot of poker on the side.
Yeah, he played a lot of cash games right here at the bike, Vince. This is his home casino.
Brent, ace, queen, moving it up to 200,000 to go.
I'll tell you what I had.
You're cheap,
Aaron
dude.
and Freddy out. Mike Shariati gonna make a call with 10-3. And we are gonna flop. It's a jack 5-3. So Mike from Irvine, California is gonna check with 3s. Brent gonna make the continuation bet.
And Mike gonna call him with bottom pair.
We are speeding things up here at the bike. Hotel and casino, 8 of spades on the turn.
Well, Mike's gonna check, and Brent's gonna check right behind him here. And then hits an ace on the river to make the best hand.
Mike checking again.
He checked and looked up like, don't tell me you made 2 aces. Yeah.
Brent's gonna make him pay to see. There's a bet of 350. Mike, are you gonna be curious?
Well, Mike's hoping he's got king queen in this spot.
He is curious.
Ace queen.
Thank you, Dieter. Nice catch. Wow. Rivering me, Brent.
That was the second river. The second time with ace queen.
Mike, by the way, got in this tournament through a $400 satellite. He's actually a genetic engineer.
Vince, he's got degrees in molecular biology and biochemistry, Mike Shariati, but right now,
How about you,
his
Aaron?
test tube is about to explode as the opponent hit a river card to beat him there.
All right, well, Mike is folded, and now Brent has picked up a nice pair of 10s. Gonna move it to 200,000. Aaron, the restaurant man, out. But Freddy Deeb, with a queen 5 of diamonds, will compete.
Sure, okie dokie call.
Here is the flop. It's an ace, queen 5, 2 pair for Freddy.
Check.
And he checks it. Brent, too smart for that, checks as well. 7 on the turn. The 10s, very skeptical now. Freddy.
Well, pretty thinking the guy could have jack 10 suited or king jack where he could make it straight in the river. Gonna make him pay for that.
Yeah, $500,000. Brent has made close to 1.3 in live earnings at the poker table. Tough young poker player.
He also knows Freddie could be bluffing here, but gives up the 2 10s. He lost the minimum with that hand.
And he really did.
Freddy Deeb taking down that pot.
Freddy Deeb, what a player this man is. 2 WPT championships to his name, going after his 3rd one here tonight.
This is 7th WPT final table.
Yeah. All right, Brent goes out, and now Aaron Kweskin with king 8 of diamonds. 250 to go into Freddy.
Right.
But Freddy's got a pretty attractive ace jack of diamonds.
550 more.
Freddie's gonna 3-bet him here.
Shariati with a slow fold.
Aaron Kweskin is talking to himself. Freddie has owned him at this final table thus far.
Yep. Aaron's got to go out. So Freddy Deeb taking that one before flop.
It's a big hand. You want to see this one?
Yeah.
You wouldn't mind if it's a bluff, right?
No, I don't mind.
Huh?
I don't mind.
If it's like 9 deuce offsuit or 7 9, you wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind at all.
Okay, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
Can I just show it to him by himself?
No, you can't.
'Cause I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want to embarrass him.
I'm not
Yeah, you can
embarrassed.
show him by yourself.
Show one,
It's
show
okay.
all.
I'm just kidding with you. I'm just joking.
Oh, Freddy Deeb, having a good time.
I'm joking with you.
He's joking. He's joking. By the way, 14 years ago, Freddy Deeb had a long neck. Look how time changes things.
Which one did you believe, that it was a bad hand or a good hand when I started giving you the
Folded because I thought you had a good hand.
You weren't sure.
Yeah, Freddie finished third in our first ever WPT event at Bellagio.
You were not sure.
You can never be
14 seasons ago. Here he is again, this time going for his third WPT title. As you can see, he's our chip leader with nearly $9 million in chips. He will be the man to beat tonight.
He is such a player,
So
such a
far-
good guy.
I showed you good hands yesterday. Today I showed you some good hands.
All right, action continues. Quick fold by Aaron. Now Freddie. With Queen 9 will raise to 250. Mike out into Brent, who has an ace jack. Just calling.
Well, didn't 3-bet with the ace jack like Freddie just did a moment ago to win the pot. See if it works out for him. And flop comes 8-6-4 with 2 clubs. Brent is checked.
Check.
And Freddie checks right behind him. Now a 10 comes off. Action again on Brent, he checks. Now Freddie's got the two-way straight draw. Will he fire here? And indeed he does. 300,000. About half the size of the pot. And Brent can't take the heat, he goes out. There's a case against that had Brent 3-bet before the flopping continued. He might have won that pot instead of Freddie. So aggression paying off there for Freddy Deeb, as it pays off for many players many times.
You sure it wasn't the other one? No?
What do you have?
Action on Mike.
No, you give my card to Brent. There you go. Enjoy it, Brent.
Folds a junk hand, and now Brent Roberts with ace-4 just calling.
Yeah, Aaron also calling with the 9-3 of
See if I
clubs.
can raise
And
it. No,
Freddie looks down at,
A miserable-looking 10-6.
can't find anything.
He's already in, so we're going to see a flop three-handed action.
well, a nice flop for Freddie as he's flopped top pair here. So it comes 6-4 deuce. And Freddie is going to bet after Aaron checks. But I don't see Brent going anywhere with second pair and top kicker. He's going to make the call. 300,000. And Aaron calling too to try to hit the 5 to make the gut shot straight.
We all hit the flop, huh?
At the backdoor flush draw as well.
Another 4, giving 3 of a kind to Brent.
Aaron is going to check, and he's going to be a little fearful that somebody might have made 3 4s, but he wants to test the water here. Doesn't want to check and call and be guessing. If he bets and gets called, it'll give him a pretty good clue. Of course, he might get raised right here. No, Brent just calls with the 3 4s, and that's going to do it for Aaron. That call will turn the caution lights on for Freddie, I can assure you.
River card. Jack of spades.
Check.
Yeah, Freddie's going to check his 2 pair.
And Brent Roberts, who hit gold on the turn, will put in the value bet. It looks like 850. And he's got to be hoping against hope that Freddie pays him off. But Freddie too sharp, makes the fold.
Yep, good lay down by Freddie, no doubt about it.
So the man from New York, Brooklyn, New York, that would be Brent Roberts, 30 years old, tough poker pro, taking down that pot.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
All right, to the felt we go. Quick fold by Mike, and now Brent Roberts with a mid pair of 6s. He is going to raise to 250. Aaron out.
Yeah, Freddie picks up an ace-king. Beautiful hand for him.
Raise.
Freddy says raise.
You know, Freddy's going to 3-bet it here. Let's see how much he's going to raise.
1 million.
Wow, 1 million? That is a healthy raise.
What'd you start with about?
1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 million.
It's a lot of millions.
Huh?
It's a lot of millions.
How much did you start with?
A little bit more.
A little bit more?
2 million more.
These are the two chip leaders.
All right, Freddy.
Brent is going to
Let me
make the
see what you
fold.
got.
Brent full.
Had a pair.
Huh?
Had a pair.
You had a pair?
Freddy Deeb has to be content with that strong hand to take a decent pot. Nothing spectacular, no hard beat. As we move on. Brent this time with ace-queen.
Now Brent's going to raise it again. This time he makes it 250,000 to go.
I hope I can raise it.
Aaron going out.
I hope I can raise you another million now. Let me look.
Freddy Deeb.
Well, you're not going to be able to do it. Looking at that card.
I can even call.
Not that time.
I can even call. I would have loved to raise it another million. 2 in a row? That would be fun.
Yeah, Mike Shariati.
Raise.
He is going to raise it with an ace-jack.
650.
Raise.
Makes it 650,000 to go.
650,000.
Now what do you do with ace-queen? Mike's on the short stack of the table, but still got 2.5 million in chips.
Come on.
Oh boy, Brent is going to shove it.
Well, he says all in, but what he's really doing is covering Mike's 2.5 million.
I'll call.
Yeah, he's going to call it.
Any jack is good, honey.
And he's up against it. Brent Roberts in a dominating position. Ace-queen versus ace-jack. Mike Shariati, who got in this tournament on a $400 satellite. The parade could come to an end for him right here, right now.
Mike, the genetic engineer, non-professional, on the ropes here as we see the first three.
Well, King 6-4.
So far, so good for Brent. Mike can't like that.
Well, if the board paired twice, they would split this pot. Mike's been playing poker for 17 years. This is first WPT cash.
Needs to spike a jack here, and he does not.
How about
6-4, 6-4 jack. Jack, honey.
Well,
Give
they
me jack.
split the pot if a 6 or a 4 comes up.
I'm happy with 6-4, but
Mike needs a jack to win the pot.
You okay with 6 or 4?
just this one time?
Here comes the river card. Lightning on the river by Mike Shariati. Heartbreak for Brent Roberts there. Wow. Well over 5 million in that pot. Brent Roberts would have had a huge chip lead with 3 left if he could have dodged that river card. It didn't happen. We still have 4 left, Ed.
That's right, Mike Shariati, a genetic engineer, lives locally in Irvine, California, and he has a pair of 3s this time, and he's just going to call.
Yeah, limps in with him.
Brent from Brooklyn, that's Brent Roberts.
Man is on the button.
Has raised to 400,000 with a king-queen. Aaron out, and now Freddy Deeb. He's got a pretty decent ace-9.
280? Yeah, 280 more. Okay.
That's another 280 for Freddie to call, and he makes the call. And Mike is going to make the call too, I'm sure, with the small pair, trying to flop a set. And he does make the call, so 3-way action here between the 3 chip leaders.
Let's go to the flop. It is a jack 9-8, 2 clubs.
Well, Freddie's got the best hand now with middle pair top kicker, but he checks. Mike checks the 2 3s. Brent with the gut shot straight draw on the 2 overcards also checks. Now queen comes off. So Brent has the best hand with 2 queens, but there's a 4-card straight out there. Freddie checks. Mike checks.
And Brent Roberts.
Will he bet here? You know, he's got the best hand, but if you bet and get raised, you can't go any farther, Vince.
You're done. But he is going to bet nevertheless 650,000. Let's see if it'll work.
Well, he thinks it's the best hand. It is.
Freddie's going
Doesn't
out.
want to give him a free draw where they could outdraw him.
And now It's up to the genetic engineer, and he has figured it out.
So,
he goes away.
Was a good bet by Brent there. He takes down the pot.
That's right. Brent Roberts, originally from Staten Island, New York, now living in Brooklyn, New York. 30 years old, the youngest player at this final table.
No young guns here tonight.
All right, Mike now picks up a pair of jacks. Good things happening all of a sudden for Mike. Makes it 450 to go. Brent with a nothing hand folds. Aaron, 9-5, goes out. Only one to beat is Freddy Deeb. He's got a pair of eights.
Oh boy, Freddy could get in serious trouble here. Mid-pair, let's see how he plays him. He's just gonna call, doesn't raise with him.
Doesn't have position, figures I'll see a flop. Not gonna get aggressive. Here we go with the flop.
Yeah, flop is 9-6 deuce with 2 hearts. And Freddy checks the 2 eights. Mike with the overpair. Certainly gonna bet here. Just see how much he's gonna bet. There's $1 million in the pot.
1 million.
He is gonna bet $1 million. So he's making a pot-sized bet here. And I don't see Freddy getting away from the eights with this flop. He could backdoor straight, backdoor flush. He's got 2 eights, which could be the best hand. He makes the call.
Yes, we go deeper into it. Mike hits a jack for 3 of a kind.
Well, a dream for Mike Shariati. He has the best hand possible now with 3 jacks. Freddy drawing dead.
Check.
Now Freddy checks again. Mike got to try to figure out if Freddy's on a drawing hand. You certainly want to make him pay to draw. But if he's drawing dead, you want to make him pay an amount that he might call you with.
I'm all in.
But an all-in bet might not be it. 3.3 million, the bet here by Mike Shariati. And now Freddy knows all he can beat is a drawing hand.
That good, buddy? Good hand?
What do you have? Are you a flush draw? I'll put you on the flush draw.
Huh?
I'll put you on the flush draw.
I would have put you all in if I had a flush draw. Maybe you have a flush draw.
Huh?
You have a flush draw, though. 3.3?
I think I'm ahead, so.
Huh?
Oh boy.
I think I'm ahead. Has the very best hand possible. I think I'm ahead.
So you win. I'm out. He wins.
Well, Freddy picked up on the table talk and gives it up.
You flush draw?
What do you have? Show me what you have. I'll tell you what I had.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I had a set.
Huh?
I had a set.
Show me. You're gonna show me both cards. These guys?
3.31.
Good hand. I had 2 eights.
Well, Vince, how good is Freddy? He talked to the guy during the hand where he could get away from it, and then he talked him into showing it just to make him feel better.
He's good. All right, back to the action. Aaron Kweskin. Ace 10. Gonna go to 250.
And Freddy picks up king, queen behind him. And the thorn in his side all night long at this final table has been Freddy. I don't think Aaron's beat Freddy a pot yet. Freddy in position, gonna make the call. Mike gonna make the call out of the small blind, and all of a sudden Brent says, hey, all that money out there, let me call this small raise. 4-way action in a raised pot. You just don't see it very often at a final table.
And here we go with the flop. It's an ace 10-9.
Well, just a great flop there for Aaron as he flopped top 2 pair, but action is on Mike as he flopped top pair. He's going to check. Brent's going to check.
And Aaron, though, with top 2 pair.
Certainly going to bet his 2 pair. 400,000. Freddy with a gut shot straight draw going to make the call. Mike has top pair. What does he do? He's going to call also. Brent says, let me get out of this quickly.
Quagmire. All right, let's see what happens on this turn. It's
Ooh, 8 of spades. That's a real scare card for all 3 players. Possible straight, possible flush.
Mike's checking again. Aaron's slowing down with the check.
And he checks the top 2 pair there. No one very easy. One of these guys could have possibly made a straight or a flush.
Oh, look at this. Freddy's going to stab with it. He's going to make a bet of 1.2 million.
It's a pretty good sized bet, Vince.
He's got Mike out.
But I don't see Aaron going anywhere with top 2 pair. He understands that Freddie could have made a straight or a flush. But still, top 2 pair in a 4-handed poker game, pretty good hand. He's going to make the call here. So Freddy Deeb must catch a jack to win this pot, at least with the best hand.
Let's see if he does it. No, miserable deuce shows up. Aaron's going to check again.
Well, Freddie knows the only way he can win this pot is to bet at it. But I'm not sure that's going to win it for him, as his opponent has top 2 pair. I just don't see it happening. But Freddie's going to give it the grand old try. He's getting out a lot of chips here, Vince.
1.7.
Wow.
1.7 million is the bet. Well, Aaron has lost every pot tonight to Freddy Deeb. Got to be shell-shocked by the guy. Does he want to give him another 1.7 million here, at least in his mind? Freddie could easily have a jack-queen here the way this hand was played.
There's straights out there. There's flushes out there.
And look at that, the top 2 pair. He already showed him the bluff. And Aaron gets up to go throw up, I believe.
That time you knew I was bluffing, huh?
Great bluff by Freddy Deeb right there to win that pot. He's the chip leader now with nearly 10 million in chips.
And the antes are going up to 20,000, and the blinds are 81.60 here at the Bicycle Hotel and Casino. Let's go to the felt. Brent Roberts from Brooklyn, quickly folding a queen 3.
Action back on Aaron, and look at this, Vince. He's got ace-10 again. He's still dizzy right now that the ace-10 he folded a minute ago, which was top 2 pair against Freddie. He lost it.
Makes it 400,000 to go. Freddie out.
Mike Shariati picks up ace-king in the big blind.
Raise.
And he is going to 3-bet it.
Mullen.
I'll check. I'll call.
And a quick all-in by Aaron, and a snap call by Mike, and here we go, ace-king versus ace-10.
I'm bad shape. Ace-10, ace-king.
Aaron Kweskin with the ace-10. Vince, you just wonder if he's still steaming from that last pot or not.
Let's go to the bar. You guys ready to go hang out?
He will be going straight to the bar, Vince, I can assure you, if he loses this pot.
I never win these.
The man that has the restaurant down south is going south quick unless he gets lucky here. And here is the flop.
Well, flop comes 4, 5, 6.
Wow. Pair of the board.
Nice and safe there.
2 hearts, it could come running hearts.
4 of hearts. 4 of hearts.
Or a 10. That's what Aaron will need to win the pot. He'd come 2 runners to make a straight where they'd split the pot.
Yeah, Mike in nice place to knock out the restaurateur. Aaron started out as the chip leader tonight. Things have gone in reverse, and he needs some luck right now. Can he get it?
Needs to find lightning to stay alive.
Ooh, Jack on the turn.
So we are down to the river. Aaron needs a 3-outer, must catch a 10 to win this pot. We saw Mike do it earlier when he needed a 3-outer to win. He caught it. Let's see if Aaron can do the same.
Aaron, the local, his family all around him, cheering him on. There's a little hope left. Can he do it?
Where's Ren 10-10 when you need him?
Just needs to hit a 10. Can it be here?
That's going to do it. For the 47-year-old from Huntington Beach, Aaron Kweskin, out tonight in 4th place. Vince, the bar owner, is going to have to go back and tip a few of them.
That is right. The amazing Kweskin is out of here. Going to take home 168,000. Let's go hear his story.
I mean, I wanted to win. I don't care. 4th place sucks. The money's whatever, you know. I wanted to win the thing and be on the trophy and, you know, win a WPT. That's what it's all about.
Don't mind if you guys get all in together right now.
Well, Brent Roberts said that because he's on the short stack right now, so he'd love nothing more than the 2 big stacks to collide.
420.
Freddie with the 7-5 of clubs gonna raise it here with the button.
420,000.
Mike out. Brent Roberts with Jack 9, already invested.
And knows Freddie could be raising with any 2 cards here, so he's going to call out of the big blind.
So Jack 9 versus 7-5. Let's go a flopping.
Oh, it's come 9-7-7. Brent has flopped top pair here, but Freddy has flopped 3 7s, and it goes check, check here.
Oh, and a jack on the turn. This gives jacks and 9s here to Brent.
Well, the top 2 pair for Brent. Again, he checks. I'm puzzled by that. But Freddy's not going to check the 3 7s anymore. He's going to bet 800,000. Vince.
Did he check to check and raise? Or is he just going to smooth call?
He's definitely going to play.
Oh, yeah.
He's just calling.
Just going to call.
Just in case Freddy's got the 2 kings or queens and was slow playing on the flop. You're not going to put him on a 7 when the guy raised pre-flop. Now a 5 comes off, giving Freddy a full house. Possible straight, possible flush out there. Now with top 2 pair, Brent's going to do some betting, I think. He's going to bet $1 million. Now the pot's got about 2.6 million in it before that bet, so this sort of a blocker bet, as we say. Meaning he was going to call on the river, but now if he gets raised here,
How much you got left?
good chance he knows his hand's not any good.
You have any big chips from behind?
No, I have 3.1 after the bet.
I'm all in.
Freddy going all in with the full house.
He wants it all.
Well, he's hoping his opponent made a straight or a flush and will pay him off on the river. Wow. He's got the top 2 pair here, but obviously no good.
Freddy Deeb wants to send the Brooklynite back in a box. And Brent's going to make a nice laydown.
That's, I think he got saved there because he let out and bet on the river. He knows Freddy wouldn't re-raise him back with an overpair or 2 jacks, so.
Wow, the little train that could take it down that pot. Freddy Deeb looking good right now, going after his 3rd WPT title.
Well, indeed he is. So now look at this. After making a full house the last pot, Freddy picks up 2 aces. Just incredible on the button. He's going to raise it to 360,000.
Mike out, and now Brent with a pair of 9s.
Man, this is just tough luck for Brent Roberts here, because I think he's going to raise here, get set all in, and then he's going to have to call with 2 9s.
Wow, well, he has raised it.
Maybe Freddy will just call here and slow play the aces.
I'm on it.
I call.
2 aces.
With aces.
Nope, all in and called. And Brent Roberts is just running to a freight train here right now, and Freddy Deeb. Freddy Deeb can take a huge chip lead into heads-up play if he wins this pot. But you got to say Freddy's caught all the cards thus far at this final table. Certainly the most cards.
He's caught cards, but he's also made
some great bluffs as well.
Extraordinary bluffs.
Nice hand, Freddy.
So
It's not over.
No.
I cracked aces twice already this tournament.
Well, there you go.
Today's a different day.
You stay positive there, Brooklyn.
It happens. Won't be the first time, won't be the last time.
And he's cracked aces twice, he said. Can he do it a 3rd time? He must if he wants to stay alive.
Here we go with the flop.
Ace with
Come on, Brent.
3 hearts.
Can you make it work? It's an 8-3 deuce.
And no matter how it was played before the flop, it would have all got in on the flop anyway.
That's correct.
Brent is going to have to catch a 9 to win this pot. Nothing else will do.
Yeah, that's a 2-outer. Brent feeling close to doom here. Did not like that flop.
He's still thinking about what might have been. His opponent not caught that jack, he'd have been a big chip leader with 3 left now.
Let's go to the
He's gonna go
turn.
out in 3rd unless he hits a 9.
No, it's a 3 of hearts.
We're down to the river. A 2-outer for Brent. Must catch a 9, otherwise he'll be our 3rd place finisher.
Mike, who you rooting for?
Mike Shariati, he knows we'll move up in a big
9.
payday.
9.
This is what poker's all about. Let's go to the river. Last card coming up. Here it is. Nope, it's a 4 of spades.
That's going to do it for the poker pro out of Brooklyn, New York, Brent Roberts. Tough luck earlier at this final table. Picked up a hand there, just ran into 2 aces. Out tonight in 3rd place.
All right, good luck. Take care, guys.
That is right. A great player is going to take home $251,000. Let's go hear his disappointment.
I ran really well in this tournament. I'm not disappointed too much. Just two hands that I wish I maybe should have played differently. Besides that, I think I played pretty well, and I ran pretty well until the ace-queen against ace-jack. That was really a momentum shift, but everything else, I think I played pretty well.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Make it funny, right?
Both players laughing, joking, enjoying the moment. Why not?
Mike is going to raise with an ace-8, makes it 4:30 to go. Behind him, Freddy Deeb with a king-5 of clubs, making the call.
Here comes a flop. Now flop is 9-8-7, 2 diamonds. Freddy with the gut shot straight draw checks. Mike with middle pair top kicker also checks.
4 clubs on the turn.
Freddy may take a stab at this, thinking his opponent might have something like ace-queen, may give it up if he bets. So he's going to bet 600,000, but a quick call here by Mike with the 2 8s.
All right, down to the river. Mike out in front, and now he's really out in front as he hits aces and 8s. Let's see if Freddy takes another stab. No, wisely checks.
800.
Yeah, Mike reaching for betting chips, 800,000. Let's see if Freddy going any farther here. He gives it up. So Mike Shariati taking down pot number 1 of this heads-up battle.
Moving on to the next hand, we got Freddy Deeb with a 6-5.
Michael.
Now Freddy limping in on the button here.
Mike with a queen-7 of hearts. He says no raise.
Now some pros think you're supposed to raise every time on the button. Freddy trying to control the pot and hoping his opponent limps in some on the button as well. If you start something, maybe he'll do it. It'll play to your advantage.
Jack 9 deuce on the flop.
Mike is checked. And Freddy, with this junk hand, knows he has to bet to win it, so going to make a continuation bet for 200,000. But Mike calls it. Now he's got no hand, no draw. Now a 10 comes off. Now he's got a draw, an open-end straight draw, but he's going to check. Freddy also checks. Now the board pairs jacks. Well, Mike checks. Freddy thinks he's got some kind of pair.
Queen high.
Not going to believe he's got a queen and a 7 here.
That's good. He's 6 high.
Obviously, if Freddy thought he had that kind of hand, he would have bet on the river, but when the guy calls you with Jack 9 deuce, and then a 10 comes up, you just don't think there's anything you can beat.
You know, we go back 14 years with Freddy Deeb. He was in our first event ever on the World Poker Tour at Bellagio. And I have to say, he's back here, winning in a big style, but there's not many players that have survived all those years. Even the greats, they have come and gone. So it is refreshing to see a champion like Freddy Deeb back battling like he is.
Yeah, finished 3rd in that first ever event. He's going to finish 1st or 2nd tonight here 14 seasons later.
Freddy with an uneventful 10-6. All right, we have 10-6 versus King-7 from Mike. We're going to see a flop. It was raised by Mike, and here goes the flop. It's an 8-8-6.
Flop is 8 of clubs, 6 of spades.
Good flop for Freddy. He's taking the lead here with 8s and 6s, but he's going to check. And Mike checks right behind him. Doesn't make the continuation bet. Now a 7 comes off where Mike has the best hand. 3 spades, possible straight on the board. But Freddy believes his 8s and 6s are the best hand. Why wouldn't you think that? So he bets
$500,000.
500,000 and gets called.
Down to the river we go. River card, Queen of Hearts. Changes nothing. Freddy thinks he's out in front, perhaps. Betting again, 800,000.
Well, Mike's beginning to wonder now. Wow, maybe this guy's really got a hand here. He's just got 2 7s, but Freddy bet on the turn and then again on the river. What would you put him on if you're sitting in Mike's seat?
Have a 6.
Well, Mike's going to call. It's going to pay off for Mike as he takes down the pot with 8s and 7s.
Mike looking like a hero right there.
Good on.
This thing is starting to turn around into Mike's favor. The great Freddy Deeb starting to rethink his position here.
Well, Vince, Mike's won every hand of this heads-up battle so far. And he's cut the chip lead from a 2-1 deficit to $12 million for Freddy and $11 million for him.
And you know how much Freddy likes to talk and laugh. That ain't happening anymore.
Well, you won every pot so far, Mike.
Well, here he comes again.
Here, you win this one too.
Freddy folds now on the button. Can't remember the last time he folded on the button. And look at this, Vince. Mike picked up 2 aces in the big blind, got a walk, got no action with him.
You won them all so far.
You won't believe what I have.
Oh, show it. What difference does it make?
Freddy wants to actually sweet-talk him into telling him what he has. But Mike's starting to turn this around. He's starting to play well, and he's starting to run well. All right, action on Mike Shariati. He's got Jack-9.
Just calls with it, doesn't raise.
And look at this, behind him, Freddy with a pair of jacks. He'll do the raising. Makes it 560 total. Mike's going to call with the Jack-9.
That's about as good a shape as you can be in pre-flop. 2 jacks versus Jack-9.
And the flop is a 6-6-3. Not a great flop from Mike. Well out in front is Freddy Deeb. He's betting 600 with the quality hand, and Mike gets to run away.
So Freddy Deeb taking down his first pot in this heads-up battle. Happy to get one. Freddy has lifetime tournament earnings prior to this event of $8.2 million. His biggest win, $2.3 million, when he won the horse tournament at the World Series of Poker. That's a $50,000 buy-in mixed game back in 2007. Now he picks up the Jack-9.
480.
480,000, but he wins with his Jack-9. Because Mike lets it go.
So Freddy's starting to get back there a little bit.
Freddy playing heads up for his 3rd title, which would tie him for the all-time win lead with Gus Hansen, Carlos Mortensen, and Anthony Zeno.
All right, back on Mike. He's got a 7-6, but that's not going to slow him down. He makes it 430 to go. Freddy Deeb with a 4-3. Everything is playable on the World Poker Tour. That's what Freddy's going to do.
Well, Freddy's a defender. He doesn't like to give up his big blind, Vince. He wants to see flops and play from there.
Flop is a Jack-6-3.
And this flop might get him in trouble. He's flop bottom pair, but his opponent's got middle pair.
600.
Freddy's going to lead out and bet, try to win the pot right here.
With the worst hand. He is betting 600 grand. And Mike just calling. Going to the turn. And getting dramatic. It's a 5.
Well, this gives Freddy an open-end straight draw, along with his bottom pair. Mike with the gut shot straight draw and middle pair. And Freddy going to bet again. Going to test the waters here, this time for 900,000.
Freddy betting with reckless abandon.
Now what do you do with second pair? Mike Shariati, you make the call here. Mike out in front with 2 6s, but the heat's getting put on him pretty strong by Freddy. How much more can he stand? Now the 9 of spade comes off. No help to either player, and Freddy's just going to wave the flag and give up the pot.
Check, check. Pair.
Goes check, check.
Small, very small pair. Six is good. That's good.
Mike turns up 2 6s, going to win the pot.
Wow. Surprise, surprise.
And Vince, with that pot, Mike Shariati takes the chip lead in this heads-up battle.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Action on Freddy. What an opportunity he has for WPT history. He's got 8 deuce this time. Gonna raise it up to 840 with a junk hand.
6 more?
Yeah, now he's really feeling his oats, Vince. Raising with an 8 deuce offsuit, folks.
Mike gonna stick around with King 4 of hearts. Freddy Deeb on a rampage. Let's see if he can stick this flop here.
And flop queen 7-5, no help to either player. Action on Mike. This is what happens. You miss the flop 70% of the time. And Freddy knows now to win the pot, he's gonna have to bet at it. Not gonna win it checking it down with this junk. So he does bet 800,000. And again, Mike is gonna give it up. So Freddy Deeb winning pots with the worst hand by betting.
As Mike is starting to look a little disillusioned now. A little defeated as Freddy, the man, rakes in the chips. Oh, what a feeling. Winning pots that aren't even yours. It's a special talent, reserved for the greats.
Mike looks down at an 8-7 here.
Call.
He's gonna just limp in.
Check.
And Freddy with the jack deuce this time says, okay, he raised it 800,000 a minute ago with the 8 deuce offsuit, but let's just call with the jack deuce offsuit.
Flop is at ace 4-5.
Freddy has the best hand with jack high.
400.
He checks, Mike bets. Well, both players have a gut shot draw. Mike has bet 400,000 with an 8 high, and Freddy has called him with jack high, looking for a 3 to make a straight.
Don't meddle with Freddy.
Well, that's when you feel like everything's going your way. Now the board pairs 4s.
Doesn't change much. Freddy's gonna check.
Mike checks right behind him. Hoping to hit a 6 to make a straight. Doesn't happen. A jack comes off, giving Freddy jacks up.
Check.
But he's gonna check.
1 million.
Oh, wow.
Mike knows the only way he could possibly win is to bet at it. So there goes $1 million. Will Freddy make the call? That's the question. He's now got jacks up. He does make the call.
Good call.
Huh?
I missed. Good call.
Jacks.
Oh, Freddy Deeb can do no wrong at this point.
I knew my straight draw, and then you blew the jack.
Wow. Freddy Deeb picking off the jack on the river.
But right now, action on Mike. Shariati. 7-5 here for Mike.
You got it.
And he is just going to give it up to the liking of Freddy Deeb. Or maybe not. Look at this.
What a fold. Look
Whoa.
at this.
Pocket aces.
Wow, Vince, how ironic is that?
2 aces.
Both times we've seen 2 aces in this heads-up battle, one by each player. They got a ground skinner and won no money with it. I guess it's fair for both of them now. It's happened to both of them.
Yeah, sometimes they go to waste. Mike this time with a nothing hand, 7-4.
Yeah, he's on the button with the 7-4 hearts. Going to limp in and make the call. Freddy with the jack-9, just happy to see a flop. So here we go. Freddy with a huge chip lead right now. Nearly 17 million.
Let's go flopping. It's an 8-5-4, so Mike getting a piece of that.
A pair and a straight draw.
Check.
Freddy checks his hand.
500.
That's a $500,000.
$500,000 bet by Mike, and he's going to take down the pot. Cut into that chip lead ever so slightly that Freddy Deeb has.
Need too many of those. Too far behind.
Mike Shariati got in this tournament by winning a $400 satellite. He won a Mega Millions tournament they had here not long ago, where he took down $275,000 for that win. Looking to get $675 tonight.
Action on Freddy is a 7-3 of clubs.
540.
Gonna make it 540 to go.
Call.
And Mike with the superior hand, Queen 10 of clubs, makes the call. Mike with a little bit of a comeback now. And we will see the flop. It's a king 8-7.
Well, just like that, Freddy's taking the lead. He's flop bottom pair.
Check.
They go check, check.
Now the board pair's eights. Mike looking down at his hand.
Check.
He's going to check again.
Check.
Wow, Freddy checks again. A little surprised by that. He's just really trying to protect his chip lead here now.
9 on the river. Changes nothing.
Check.
Check, check.
7.
Freddy just did not want to get check raised out of this pot with a chip lead. Didn't want to lose any chips unnecessarily.
You're lucky no club showed up.
Just checked it down and takes down the pot to extend his chip lead. Freddy Deeb on the verge of a little WPT history by tying for the most wins in the history of the World Poker Tour with 3 if he can win tonight.
Both men know how important this moment is for their poker careers. But Freddy, oh so close to becoming a 3-time WPT champion, and it could become closer because he has ace-king.
Look at the hands this guy's picking up right now.
5 more.
Call me butter, I'm on a roll, says Freddy Deeb.
Yeah, he's gonna raise to 740.
500 more.
Mike with queen, deuce of diamonds. Will he get sucked in?
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I'm not a fan of this call, Vince. I'm not a fan of it because he's only got 3-point-something million in chips, and this is 500,000 to make this call.
He is taking a shot. Can he get lucky on the flop? No, ace 4-4.
Great flop for Freddy. He's got aces up.
Check.
Check, check. Freddy trying to trap him here.
Yep, gonna camouflage the strength of his hand here. Now the jack of spade comes off, so that puts possible straight and flush draws out there.
Check.
Oh, but Mike, too wise. He's gonna check again.
600.
Yeah, you almost have to bet here if you're Freddy, I think, just because of the potential draws. We can see his opponent's drawing dead, but Freddy didn't know it.
Yeah, 600,000. Will he chase Mike away? We know he only has queen high. There's not much you can do.
Well, he could check raise, Vince, and that would get him in big trouble.
Mm-hmm. Now he's gonna muck the hand.
Has to give it up, so Freddy Deeb widening the chip gap. And Vince is coming very close to Freddy envisioning that trophy going on his mantle.
Oh boy. How many players are taking home 3 WPT titles? He is so close to doing it right now.
He has over 10 times the amount of chips of his opponent.
You're small.
That is a big, big amount to overcome.
He's beaming with confidence. He's got jack 3 this time. And he's gonna call it, no raise. Mike with a silly looking 7-4. He's gonna see a flop. Here's the flop, it's a queen 8-6.
Well, Mike's flopped a gut shot straight draw. He's gonna check, and Freddy quickly checks right behind him.
Mike with just 2 million starting this hand. He's on the ropes. Deuce of diamonds doesn't help Mike. Gonna check again.
Well, look at this. Freddy's gonna bet 300,000.
I'm all in.
Whoa.
Wow, Mike has check raised all in here. The lion has roared finally, Vince. Freddy Deeb has the best hand, but no chance I can imagine you're gonna call here with jack high.
How much you got? About 1.7?
1.6 something.
Huh? It's okay, it's okay.
1.6, 1.7 almost, 1.8 something.
It's okay, you win.
You can't do it.
Guess deuce is no good, huh?
Well, look who came out to play all of a sudden. That's Mike. First time ever on the World Poker Tour.
2 deuces.
And you know, Freddy's gonna lie here a little bit.
Deuce is no good, huh?
Vince, you know what Mike is thinking there. For so long in this heads-up battle now, I've been the grass and you've been the lawnmower. I'm tired of that. I'm gonna turn that lawnmower over and take charge myself.
I'm all in.
And he is gonna go all in with a king high. And Freddy Deeb has ace-3. He's out in front, ready to capture another crown.
This could do it if Freddy Deeb's hand stands up. He'll be a 3-time WPT champion.
Oh, Freddy feeling good. Goes to the rail, ace high out in front. He is favored to take home his title. Shakes hands with his son. What a moment for Freddy Deeb. Mike in his first ever WPT event. What an effort. He's behind, of course, in this hand. Needs a little luck to capture this hand and perhaps make a slow comeback, but right now it's all about Freddy Deeb. The flop is a good one for Freddy Deeb, 8-8-3.
Yep, he's got 8s and 3s. Means Mike must catch a king or a 6 to win this pot. Nothing else will do.
If an ace comes, we don't have to see the next card. Or a 3. All right?
Here we go to the turn. And it's a queen.
Well, the queen comes off. We are down to the river. Mike Shariati must catch a king or a 6 on the river. Otherwise,
King or 6.
this Legends of Poker will be history. Freddy Deeb will notch another WPT title.
Unreal. What an opportunity for the great Freddy Deeb. He's got this thing wrapped up. Can he put the bow on it?
A king or a 6. How many lives does this guy have? Wow. Freddy Deeb just staring at the board, saying, you've got to be kidding me.
Whoa. What a river card. We just saw the big suck out of the night.
Well, Mike Shariati and his friends are all pinching themselves. They can't believe they're still alive in this tournament. They had to hit a river card for the 2nd time at this final table to stay alive. He did it again.
What drama, what nonsense. Let's go back down to the felt. This is not over.
Well, Freddie still has a big chip lead. Over 19 million to less than 4 million, so he's still in great shape. And he picks up an ace high on the button. Just gonna limp in.
Yep, trying to trap here.
I'm all in.
And look at this, ace 10 for Mike. He's gone all in.
Icon.
Well, Freddie's made the call with ace high. He's up against it here. Mike Shariati, the dominating favorite. Ace 10 versus ace 5.
Any 10 is good. Any 10. Ace 10.
Then I was going to come a 5.
Well, in back-to-back hands, we can see Mike Shariati double up. Last time he was the underdog. This time he's the favorite.
Mike, you drawing that this time.
No. This time I'm ahead.
I said you drawing that this time.
This time I'm ahead.
No.
Jack on the flop.
Queen.
Well, Freddie's going to have to catch a 5 to win this pot. A 10 and a queen would give him a split.
Queen of hearts.
But Freddy Deeb in trouble. The board could pair twice, where Freddie would also get a chop, but he needs help right now. Mike Shariati is the one all smiles at the moment.
Queen. Come on. Queen.
It'll be great drama if a 5 came off.
Queen.
With the 4.
And it's a heart. But that's not good. Mike has the ace of heart, of course.
Yeah. Doesn't affect Freddie. He's got to catch a 5. To win this pot, nothing else will do. And Freddie's fans cheering for a 5. He got outdrawn the last hand on the river. Can he outdraw his opponent? No. Queen comes off. His opponent makes the nut flush to win this pot. And Vince, we hear about guys going 0 to 60 pretty fast. Well, Mike Shariati has gone from 0 to 8 million pretty fast. And after that pot, Vince, wouldn't you know it, after all this play in this heads-up battle, they're right back to where they started when the heads-up battle began. He was just over a 2-to-1 chip lead, right where they started. He's got 16 million, his opponent 7.3 million.
Felt we go, blinds 153, and right now, Freddy Deeb looks down at an attractive queen, jack of spades.
He just limps in and calls.
And now Mike is going to look at a pair of 10s.
Raise.
Now Mike is going to raise it 800,000 more. I can't see Freddie throwing this away before the flop.
No, 2 quality hands.
Michael.
He is going to make the call.
Freddy Deeb with queen, jack. Pair of 10s for Mike. Very important flop. The flop is a jack 10-6.
This is going to spell bad news for Freddy Deeb. most likely.
800.
He's flopped top pair, but his opponent has flopped second set.
Yep.
And now bets 800,000.
Freddy with top pair, a good kicker.
15 more.
He's gonna raise it to 2.3. He thinks he's in front. Little does he know.
Well, he's gonna know soon.
15 more.
I'm all in.
I call.
All in and called.
That's what you gotta do.
3-10. Jack is good. What a cooler.
Heads up, baby.
Freddie can't believe it. Freddie's mumbling to himself.
Well, Mike Shariati has flopped Flint to Saginaw, 30 miles, 3 10s, well out in front over Freddy Deeb. Freddie's got to hit 2 runners to win the pot, 2 runners to make a straight, 2 runners to make a flush, or 2 runners to make a bigger full house.
You talk about momentum going the other way.
King is spade.
Freddie Deeb can't believe it. He was so close to having his name engraved once again on the Champions Cup, taking home the money, being the champ. And now this, here we go with the turn. It's an ace of spades.
Oh, what a card for Freddie.
Yeah.
Give it red, honey. Give it red.
A little bit of light for Freddy Deeb here.
A lot of light.
He can now win the pot. If a king comes off or a spade comes off, that's not the 6 of spades.
Just win the pot, he would win the tournament.
Well, Vince, we've seen a lot crazier things at this final table, and the crazier things have come from this guy, Mike Shariati, as he had a jack once to stay alive, and then had to hit a king or 6 to stay alive. Freddie's got many more outs than that. Can he do it?
I can't look. It's a 6 of hearts.
A full house for Mike Shariati. Well, Vince, in back-to-back-to-back hands, he has doubled up through Freddy Deeb, and now it's he that has the 2-1 chip lead over Freddy Deeb once again.
The newest real money online poker room is here, and it's called WPT Global. Join the world's largest poker network with games running 24/7 with buy-in levels to suit all bankrolls. We've got tons of cash games at all stakes and tournaments every day with huge prize pools. Sign up today in the description below and use bonus code YT85 and we'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar.
Nine, 10 of clubs.
I'd like to play those suited connectors.
Just gonna call it, and Mike with a 10-6.
You just call on this spot when you've been spanked 4 hands in a row.
Yeah. And here's the flop here. It's Jack 8-4. That's good for Deeb. Open-ended straight draw.
Check.
Mike is gonna check, and Freddie checks right behind him. Now an ace comes off. Well, again, Mike checks.
800.
And now Freddie's gonna take a stab at this spot. Not believing this guy's got an ace with a chip lead and didn't raise before the flop. He doesn't. Freddie bets, wins the pot.
And Freddy Deeb definitely needed that to get a little mo back.
Freddie, a tough customer.
You are too, buddy. You're very tough. I'm tough, but you're very tough.
No, you're tougher than me.
Right, Mike? He's very tough. Vince, what do you think? He says I'm tough, but I think he's very tough.
Both very tough.
These guys are both a member of the Pat on the Back Society.
But they're both very tough, I'll give him that. Right back at it we go. This time Mike has a pair of queens.
Well, you talk about how momentum has changed. He just limps in on the button with 2 queens.
And Deeb is going all in with a king 10.
Well, I don't blame him. He'd have the best hand 9 times out of 10 unless the guy's sandbagging like he was.
Give it a small.
Where's that king when I need one?
And now Freddie's up against it.
Hey, king is coming.
Boy, oh boy, you talk about a good run here down the stretch. Mike Shariati has done it. The 2 queens stand up. He'll be our champ. Coming from virtually nothing. Over a 20 million chip deficit to take the title.
Here comes the flop. Well, a 10 is coming. 10-3 deuce.
Well, Freddie has got a pair of 10s. Needs another 10 or a king to take the lead.
Well, 14 seasons on the World Poker Tour. This would be one of the greatest comebacks in a heads-up battle ever. And to happen potentially to the great Freddy Deeb would be astonishing.
Make it exciting. Just put a heart out there. Put a heart.
He wants a heart. He's getting punchy.
No king or a 10. Just put a heart.
Well, Freddie just wants a little bit more of a draw.
All right, we'll see if he gets that draw.
I couldn't get away from it.
Oh, it's a 9 of diamonds.
If I just call.
We are down to the river.
Yeah.
Freddy Deeb must catch a king or a 10 to stay alive in this tournament.
Do it.
Otherwise, he's going to be our runner-up.
Freddie was one card away from taking down the title.
He had to dodge a king or a 6 on the river earlier in this heads-up battle where he had the trophy and cash. Now he has to catch a king or a 10.
This is it, coming down to it.
Mike Shariati has done it, man. He is the comeback kid that has taken this title. Incredible.
Yes, a big upset by him. He's our champion.
Well, Vince, you got to feel the pain for Freddy Deeb. He was one card away from winning his 3rd World Poker Tour title tonight. Just wasn't meant to be. Freddy Deeb, our runner-up.
That is right. He's a great player. Let's go talk to him.
You know what? It's not the first time that I've been this route. I'm not disappointed. Things happen. I'm very happy with my result. I played the best. I think I played great. And I would have liked to win it, but it didn't happen. So maybe I am disappointed, but I'm not unhappy.
And now, let's talk to the Legends of Poker champion from Irvine, California, Mike Shariati. Mike, congratulations to you. This was certainly one of the most epic heads-up battles in the history of the World Poker Tour. Tell us how you're feeling right now about this win tonight.
I'm still in disbelief, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that bike provided me. And I can't say, I don't know how I feel. I'm grateful.
Well, twice at this final table, you hit a river card to stay alive in this tournament. Did you think destiny was on your side when you hit those cards? Did you really believe it was going to be your night?
After that, and my favorite dealer, yeah, I felt good. Yeah.
Well, in addition to your $675,000, you're going to get your name engraved on the WPT Champions Cup, a beautiful Hublot watch to commemorate your victory. Once again, let's hear it for our champion of the Legends of Poker, Mike Shariati.
WPT Global is committed to being the most fair and secure poker site in the world. Data-driven AI detection technology eliminates collusion and ensures a fair environment for everyone. With zero tolerance for bots and cheaters, WPT Global is trusted by millions of players worldwide. Click the link in the description. Use the code YT11 on deposit and get our welcome package with tournament tickets, deposit match, and more.
There you see the chip count. Chip leader Jim Gilbert with 9.8 million, Maurice Hawkins in 2nd place with 7.2, and David Paredes in 3rd place with 5.2 million.
First place, 723,000. The antes are 10,000, blinds 40 and 80. And that's what the champion gets, as well as the cash. The beautiful Hublot watch. Let's go to the felt.
Yeah, action's about to begin. We're going to start with Roman Valerstein.
Roman, local Philadelphia. He's got a pretty nice ace-9. Gonna raise to 180.
He's the short stack at the table and opts to come in first position with this hand.
Joe Kuether behind him folds.
Just here about 2. Just a bit more, 2.1.5 maybe.
Well, how do you play ace-queen on the first deal at the final table? Conservative. That's how you play it if you're Jerry. He makes the call.
Maurice Hawkins goes out. He's from Florida. And now the chip leader, Jim Gilbert, he has ace-10 of clubs.
Well, Vince, he's got so many chips. When a guy limped in the middle, be surprised if he wouldn't raise here. But no, out of position in the small blind, he just opts to call also.
David out of Brookline. Massachusetts doesn't play, so three-way action. Here goes the flop. It's a queen, 7 deuce. That is great there for Jerry.
Jim checks. Roman checks right behind him. Jerry's going to bet the 2 queens, even though there's no straight possibility, no flush possibility out there, and this hand is going to end right here, most likely. That's the case. Both blinds fold, and Jerry Payne picking up pot number 1. Jerry, 37 years old, from Dayton, Ohio, my hometown. Vince, he actually said he got started playing poker watching me on television. Knew I was from Dayton, started playing. Here he is at a WPT final table.
You should get a little piece of his action. Jim now with king, queen of spades, gonna raise to 200,000. Paredes goes out. Roman Valerstein out as well, but big hand for Joe, ace, king of clubs.
Joe Kuether, I believe, is the most consistent player on the poker tour.
Well, he's raised to 550. Payne going away. Maurice Hawkins from Florida will not play. So back on the chip leader, Jim Gilbert is going to stick around with his king queen. We're going to see the flop. Here we go. And it's a big ace, ace-3 for Joe Kuether, 3 of a kind, just like that.
Notice he doesn't change his expression at all.
Jim checks.
And Joe checks right behind him. Trying to set a trap here, Vince.
5 of diamonds on the turn.
Well, Jim's not falling any traps, at least not so far. He checks again. Joe now reaching for chips. 575,000, and Jim is going to go out. So Joe Kuether takes down that pot. Joe, 27 years old, from Elm Grove, Wisconsin.
Long week. No, it's not that. I just got a problem. I don't know if you guys are like me, but like I get bored real easily.
So how are we gonna spice it up then?
No way in hell. Look at you guys. Y'all just like chilling. Ain't nobody gonna talk. He ain't cracked a smile since we got here.
It's all robots. Playing against all robots.
This dude made the final table, didn't even smile, didn't even smirk.
Well, Maurice Hawkins, one of those players that likes to have a good time while he's playing poker, likes to chit-chat, laugh, have fun. Joe Kuether, on the other hand, all business, all serious, never smiles, never jokes.
Well, a couple folds around to Joe, and he's got 7, 5 of diamonds, and look what he does. He's going to raise it to 175. Jerry out. Maurice also going out. And now, Jim his call with a 9-8. We're going to see a flop. And it's an ace-9-4.
Jim is going to check the 2 9s.
Joe Kuether with nothing, making the continuation stab of 210.
But Jim going nowhere, calls him with the 2 9s. When the 6 of diamonds comes off, that's the dream card for Joe Kuether. He now has an open-end straight draw and a flush draw. After having nothing on the flop, Jim checks again. And because Joe has such a big draw, he is going to bet.
One-handed sweater mask. I like it.
He's going to give up the 2 9s. So nice bet there by Joe Kuether to take down that pot. This guy will be a force today. To the table we go.
Action on Roman Valerstein. And he quickly folds. Joe Kuether with a king, deuce of hearts. Doesn't like that. Folds as well. Jerry Payne has the real hand, pair of jacks.
And he's definitely going to raise it, just a matter of how much. Makes it 175,000 to go.
Into the Floridian Maurice Hawkins, who has a nice little pair of 3s.
And when you have a small pair, you like to see flops. You know, if you flop a set, good chance you can double up.
He's called it. A couple folds behind him, so two-way action. 2 pairs. Flop is an 8-7-6.
Well, no help to either player, but a concern flop for both players.
Jerry Payne with the overpair is going to check it. Maurice with a check behind him. And a king on the turn. Oh, Jerry. Now he hates it. He checks again. He's thinking maybe this guy had a king. Maurice says, no, I check as well.
Wow. And board pairs 6s. Well, Jerry's now going to bet the 2 jacks for value, 205,000. And call my Maurice. I don't blame you. The way this hand was played, I'd call with 2 3s there too. Opponent check the flop, check the turn. Looks like he's got ace high, but Jerry Payne is going to take down that pot with 2 jacks.
Oh, value town, huh? I'm the right guy to say that to. Game on. Value town. Your rail didn't cost you money.
Okay, Joe Kuether with a king 5. Mucks quickly. Jerry Payne.
It's crazy, man.
Folds. Now Maurice with a pair of 10s. And he makes it 2-10 to go. Jim Gilbert out. David also out. Only one to defeat now would be Roman. And he goes out.
Yeah, it looked good, didn't it? I start talking, say all that, they just pick up 2 10s. So sick.
Well, he's happy again.
Come on, Rail. Come on, clap it up over there. Come on, let's go. Woo, let's go. Yeah, I see you, baby.
Mike, I want what he's having.
Woo, let's go. Let's get this going, boys. The party ain't started yet. Let's go.
Just give me a little bit of that.
He's just a happy person, man. He calls himself a professional husband.
Feeling wonderful now. Need that. Wake my ass up. Let's go.
His wife has to root him on.
I-town. Can't believe they said that.
He started talking. Yeah. Here we go.
All right, we go back down to the pit. Action on Jerry. He's got a nothing hand, folds it. Into Maurice has queen 10. He's going to raise to 210. Jim Gilbert behind him with a re-raise.
A 3-bet with a king-jack offsuit. These are the kind of plays you can make in position, especially if you're chip leader.
Everybody folding. Maurice going to protect it.
No one's gonna scream out of this hand, I promise. As long as you don't win.
Many players would fold after getting re-raised with that hand, but Maurice defending here.
And the flop's a king 9-5. That is beautiful for Jim Gilbert.
Yeah, Maurice has flopped a gut shot, straight draw, and checks. And Jim with top pair checks. A little surprising. Now the board pairs 5s. Maurice probably thinking the guy's got ace high, going to try to steal the pot with his queen high here. Bets 350,000.
If you fold, they won't scream. They won't scream.
Promise?
They're gonna scream if you fold.
You ain't screaming if I fold?
All right.
Wow, I can't believe Jim is looking back down at his hand, Vince.
I don't like loud noises.
It's just weird. The guy 3-bet before the flop. He knows what he's got.
Doing a little deception there, Mike, I believe. And of course he does make the call with the top pair. River card, another 5.
Well, this gives a full house to Jim. But Maurice is going to continue with the bluff. He bets 325,000 into a pot that's got about 1.8 million in it, so obviously this bluff is going to fail miserably.
Well, you just got to appreciate the effort, though, by Maurice to take a stab at that. And now he finds out the truth. The re-raise by Jim, and it's getting ugly.
Maurice gives it up. That's one way to silence him, Vince. Pick off his bluffs.
WPT Global is committed to being the most fair and secure poker site in the world. Data-driven AI detection technology eliminates collusion and ensures a fair environment for everyone. With zero tolerance for bots and cheaters, WPT Global is trusted by millions of players worldwide. Click the link in the description. Use the code YT11 on deposit and get our welcome package with tournament tickets, deposit match, and more.
Let's go to the felt. It's on Jim. Let's see what he has.
Now Jim Gilbert, who reminds me of a Nordic skier, throws his hand away. David Paredes out as well.
Roman not going to play. And it's around to Joe Kuether, who has a pair of 9s.
On the button in position with a nice hand, and he's going to raise it up to 175,000.
Jerry Payne goes out, and now Maurice takes a look at a very attractive king, queen of hearts.
Well, everybody at the minimum is going to defend with this out of the big blind. Many would re-raise. The Hawk just makes the call and flops a flush as it comes 8-7-5 of hearts. He looks back, just can't believe it.
Check.
And checks.
He's going to try to trap, dig the hole, put the branches and the twigs over it, wait for the sucker to fall in. Will it be Joe?
Vince, everybody's going to bet an overpair in this spot when the opponent checks to him.
Just a nice call. Maurice, you got him where you want him.
And now the board pairs 5s. Again, the Hawk checks. If you're sitting in Joe's seat, you're thinking the guy's got maybe a pair of 8s or a pair of 7s, maybe a 6 in his hand, or maybe just a heart in his hand where he's drawing out a flush. So you're going to bet an overpair and a gut shot straight draw. Joe makes it 475,000 this time.
Maurice
just calls again.
Okie dokie, going to the river.
Well, the 4 of hearts comes off. That is not the card
Check.
you're looking for if you're sitting in Maurice's seat, or Joe's seat for that matter. A flush beats you, a straight beats you. It goes check, check. Maurice shows the king-eye flush. He is going to take down this pot.
Get crunk.
And he is a happy camper.
His friends and family loving that.
Yo, Tingo, you nuts.
Well, his voice is back, Vince. He got silent there for a little while. He lost a few pots. Funny how when you win a nice pot, your voice comes back.
The antes are going up to 15,000. Blinds are 50 and 100 at this point.
No sabe, senor. Yo, no sabe.
Maurice from Florida, 42 years old, family man.
He is just a happy guy and would love to win this title.
He has raised this with ace 8 of hearts. Jim out. Now, David Paredes, pretty solid ace jack. Poker pro out of Brookline, Massachusetts, makes the call. And Joe Kuether, around to him, he's got a pair of 7s.
Well, he's going to call as well. Everybody else out, so we've got three-way action here. Now flop comes king, queen, 6 with 2 hearts. Joe with just 2 7s checks. Maurice with the nut flush draw also checks, a little surprised by that. And David checks right behind him as well. Deuce of diamonds on the turn, no help to anybody.
Joe gonna check again, and now Maurice with the flush draw.
I'm gonna reach for betting chips this time, just can't imagine the deuce of diamonds helped anybody.
He bets 375, hoping against hope.
Notice as the cards lie, the Hawks got the worst of the 3 hands, but
David goes out.
Joe goes out as well, so betting, winning that pot for Maurice right there.
Hawks view.
His wife, April, calls himself a happy person and says he's a professional husband, Vince. Are you a professional husband?
Yeah. I am.
You have to say that.
Throw me in that category, yes. Happily so. I've been amateur before, but now I'm professional. I've learned.
He also says he and his wife are at the final table for life.
That's right.
That's a tear in my eye for that one. That's a poker player degenerate. Trying to get out on a Wednesday night, if you ask me.
I just love that line.
Family that plays poker together stays together.
He got his due because he went broke.
A quick fold by Jim Gilbert. David out. Roman not going to play.
Around to Joe Kuether. Looks down at ace 10 on the button. Getting raising chips out, and they're going to make it 225,000 to go.
Jerry out. Only one to beat is Maurice, but he's got a solid ace 6, and he will make this call.
Well, going to defend out of the big blind with the ace high.
And the flop is an ace 5-3. Both of them hitting aces, of course.
Well, Maurice is in trouble here because he is outkicked. He is going to lead out and bet 230,000 on this flop. Joe with top pair. He's going to make the call.
Three on the turn pairs the board.
Well, Maurice didn't get raised on the flop, so he's going to bet again. This time 235,000. Now, Vince, no way Joe is going to put Maurice on an ace-king or ace-queen here because he didn't raise pre-flop. So he's just not going to throw an ace-10 away in this situation. Makes the call.
Going to the river.
Now, there's a card nobody's going to like. Possible straight, possible flush out there now.
Ace.
Maurice checks. Joe checks right behind him. Joe confidently turns up ace-10 even after the Hawk says he's got an ace in his hand. And he is going to take down this pot with aces up, out-kicking his opponent.
No yapping now for Maurice. 6 players battling for Borgata. Who will take home this championship here tonight? Let's take a look. Well, he's got a miserable queen deuce. He folds. Jim also going out. Paredes not going to play. Roman goes out as well. So Joe Kuether now with a pretty solid jack 10 of clubs.
And he's in the small blind, and he's just going to call.
Gonna give Jerry a chance. Jerry with a nothing hand, 6-3.
Well, Jerry probably happy to get a free flop here, just going to check, and that's exactly the case.
Jack 10 versus 6-3, and the flop is a 10-5 deuce.
What a flop for Joe. He's got top pair with a flush draw. He's not playing it slow, Vince. He's leading right out with this monster hand, and Jerry calling him with a gut shot straight draw right behind him. Oh, Jerry has hit the straight, but look, Joe has hit a flush. Jerry Payne could see some serious pain this hand.
And 275 bet into the man with Payne. Oh boy, you're just taking a stab, and it's just not going to work out. He's going to make this call. River card.
6 of diamonds comes off.
Oh, Joe Kuether, relentless.
And this time a healthy bet, 775,000.
Call.
Jerry makes the call, gets the bad news as Joe turns up the flush. So Joe Kuether taking down a nice pot there. And Jerry Payne feeling a little pain right there.
Sometimes those non-raised hands before the flop can get you into a lot of trouble.
That was his gin card, let's put it that way.
It was his gin card, but it wasn't gin for him.
Still manages to smile, though.
Back to the action is going to be on Jerry.
Jerry out of Dayton, Ohio. Poker professional, 37 years old. Looks down at an ace-7.
Going to lay this one down. Now Maurice Hawkins has a 10-8 of clubs, and it's good enough for him to raise with 225,000. Just calls with it, does not 3-bet with 2 10s. A little surprising.
David goes out. Now Roman has got King Jack. No, he elects to fold. Joe with an ace-7 of spades. In the big blind. He's going to make the call.
Now Jim out in front with 2 10s. Let's see if they stand up. That flop comes 8-5-5. So Maurice has flopped 8s and 5s. And after raising pre-flop checks there, very puzzling to me.
Jim, of course, in front with the pair of 10s will make the continuation bet of 300,000. Joe Kuether.
He's wondering if his ace high is good the way this hand's been played, but he gives it up.
Into Maurice.
And he's going to make the call here. Now a queen of hearts comes off, so possible flush out there now. That'll be a scare card for both of them. Maurice is going to check. And Jim chewing on that sweater. He's going to check right behind him. And the king of diamonds comes off.
Well, this changes nothing, but makes them both more fearful, of course.
I think they'll both be happy to check it down if you want to know the truth. Well, Maurice does check, and the man behind the sweater, Jim Gilbert, contemplating what to do. Just don't know why he hasn't snap checked already. Can only get paid off if he's beat. He does check. 2 10s are going to win this pot. So Jim Gilbert going to extend his chip lead once again. All right, back to the action we go.
Maurice Hawkins doesn't make this one, no.
Jim Gilbert looks down at a junk hand, goes out.
Paredes with a pair of 3s. Makes it 225 to go.
David went to Harvard, went to NYU Law School, became a lawyer, worked on Wall Street for a number of years, then decided to become a poker pro, Vince.
Joe Kuether around the horn has a pair of 8s.
Now Joe's going to call with them. He's out of position, just opts to call out of the small blind, and Jerry with an ace-7 offsuit and big blind getting a good price here to make the call, and he does so, and again we have 3-way action.
2 pairs and an ace-7, and the flop is a 10-7-6.
Well, Joe's got the best hand with 2 8s and a gut shot straight draw, and he's going to check. Jerry's got second pair, top kicker, also checks, and David with the under pair checks right behind him.
4 on the turn, and now Joe Kuether's had enough of this. He is going to make a bet 375 with the 8s and a straight draw.
Meantime, Maurice has gone over to talk to WPT champ Sean Kunix.
I have played hands. A couple. Yeah, I just lost the pot. They keep getting hands. But you saying you want me to open it up a little bit? Okay.
Yeah, Sean will always tell everybody to open it up. That's his style. Fire it up.
Jerry is going to make this call. David goes out.
So we go into the river. The board pairs 6s. Joe's going to check the 8s.
Check.
That is a check. No harm, no foul. So once again, Joe Kuether getting the best of Jerry Payne. 6 players going after this title at the Borgata Poker Open. 27-year-old out of Pennsylvania. He's got to make it 225 to go.
David out, Roman out.
Joe Kuether looks at a nothing hand, also folding. Jerry Payne out.
Maurice Hawkins.
Call, better, fold. Which one you want? Let me know.
Depends on what you got.
I hope I got better than you.
If you got worse, I really want you to call.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, I'll see a flop. You're a good guy.
You too.
I mean, you're a really good guy.
Maurice makes the call. Here comes the flop. Well, Jack 6 deuce.
I'll check. You win.
75.
You win. You said 675?
275.
Oh.
Bet and a fold by Maurice.
What's the question?
I was just asking Jerry how many chips he has.
Oh. He has 5.5. I have 5.4. He has 2 point something. He has 5 point something. He has 10, and you got 2 or 1.
2 would be awesome.
Something in there.
That's pretty cool. I'll take 2 mil.
So theoretically, we all got the same amount.
In my mind, I got the same amount as anybody else.
I bet your ROI is real good right now. I know you understand that because you're a computer man.
What's the ROI?
Now you are doing
Vince,
well.
What's that?
Do you know what ROI is?
No, I don't.
Return on investment.
Okay. Quick fold by Paredes.
All in?
Oh, just give me 3s one time.
Valerstein going all in with a pair of 4s. Couple folds behind him.
When you run your mouth like this, I'm the guy that's gonna get the hand against you. I don't know if you're gonna win or lose, but this is what happens. I'm just telling you. Wow, hold on, I think it matched. No, I didn't. It looked like it, but it did not. All right, okay.
Not really, Maurice. He folds. Now Jim.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There are a few cards.
No shot.
That can make me call.
No shot.
Did you just say call?
No, I said there are a few cards that could.
Nice angle.
No. So Roman gonna take that one.
All smiles when you take down a pot when you're all in.
But I am no snap.
Roman's gone all in with his king 10 of clubs. Let's see if it'll work again. Joe out.
Jerry looks down at Queen 9. He's not going to call.
This is not it.
Maurice quickly folding in now. Oh no, Jim's got the hand. He's got ace queen.
I call.
He's going to make the call.
David goes out.
No love lost between these college chums. Not out here in the big leagues anyway. Roman gets called here, and his tournament life is on the line.
Get there.
Roman Valerstein. Can he get lucky on this flop?
Now flop comes 8-7-6. Roman now has a straight draw.
4.
A 9 would give him a straight.
Get there. What does the 4 do? Is that
4 is just more of a sweat.
It's more of a sweat with a 4?
Yeah.
Because then you have the 5 chop card.
Yeah.
The 5 chop card.
And nobody loses.
Oh, the 4! Look, the 5.
Let's do another 4.
No, another 4? Oh,
Yeah.
paddleboard make money trees?
Maurice is enjoying this more than either one of them.
I like suspense, but I like money more.
Look, I like you, dude, but I like money more. I'm sorry to tell you that.
Roman in a bit of trouble going to the river.
Paddleboard money trees?
So Roman gets a split with a 5. He gets a win with a 9, 10, or a king. Everybody on their feet.
Jack of clubs.
Well, that's going to do it for the 29-year-old from Newton, Pennsylvania, Roman Valerstein, out tonight in 6th place.
Roman getting thrown to the Lions. Going to take home $146,000. What an effort. Let's go talk to him.
Yeah, of course I'm happy with my cash. Just outlasted more than 1,000 people, so I can't really complain, I guess. I definitely am rooting for Jim to win because, I mean, we're all longtime friends, and, you know, he's got a lot of chips. I like his game a lot, and I think he's a favorite to win.
WPT Global is committed to being the most fair and secure poker site in the world. Data-driven AI detection technology eliminates collusion and ensures a fair environment for everyone. With zero tolerance for bots and cheaters, WPT Global is trusted by millions of players worldwide. Click the link in the description. Use the code YT11 on deposit and get our welcome package with tournament tickets, deposit match, and more.
Well, there you see the chip count. Jim Gilbert well out in front with over 12 million in chips. Joe Kuether in 2nd place with 6.5 million. Maurice Hawkins in 3rd with about 5.2.
Winner's going to take home $723,000. And there is the gorgeous Hublot watch. The champion will win. Every poker player's dream.
We played against computers.
And he's a 15,000. Blinds 50 and 100. Let's go down to the felt. Action on Jerry Payne, a poker pro out of Dayton, Ohio.
Jerry out over to
fold.
The talkative and talented Maurice Hawkins, he's out.
Jim also going. David Paredes has picked up a strong ace-10 of clubs.
Well, the battle of the blinds. David went to Harvard, NYU Law School, became a lawyer, worked on Wall Street, quit that job to become a poker player, raised it here to $275,000. Joe Kuether called out of the big blind with Queen 7 of diamonds.
And the flop is a 6-5-3. David Paredes not hitting there. He checks.
And Joe Kuether with the gut shot straight draw. Backdoor flush draw makes a bet of $375,000. And David's going to call him with just ace-10, thinking it's the best hand, which it is. The deuce of diamonds comes off, so a 4-card straight on the board.
David checks again now. Joe Kuether.
And he's just got queen high, but he has a flush draw now to go along with his gut shot straight draw.
That builds his self-esteem a bit, and he's going to bet 625. And David has to go out.
He also betting because he didn't think David was that strong.
Joe Kuether has a degree in accounting.
Well, I just can't say enough about Joe Kuether. Probably the most consistent player on tour out here.
Win a tournament, get $5,000 for yourself and a new pair of shoes. Yeah!
Here's Maurice Hawkins, a former college football player, tried out for the NFL.
Maurice is up to you. Yeah, he folds. Yeah! Let's get some energy over here.
He got injured and took up poker ever since, and he's going to fold his hand.
I need a sidekick.
All right, a raise here by Jim Gilbert. 225 to go with ace high. Round to Joe Kuether, who has an ace-10 of hearts, just calling. Jerry Payne folds. Ace-5 versus ace-10. The flop is a queen 8-3.
No help to either player. Joe checks.
Jim gonna get the chips out, make the continuation bet.
$275,000. Joe Kuether is calling him here with just an ace-10. What a call this is against the chip leader, knowing you could face a lot more heat down the road. And now an 8 of hearts comes off, so this gives Joe a flush draw. He is going to check. Will Jim fire another shell? Nope, he's going to check also. So we're going to the river. Now a 6 comes off. Again, Joe checks.
Will Jim take a stab at it?
That's when he checked on the turn. Odds are he's going to check again here on the river. He's going to check it down, and Joe's going to win this pot because the 10 kicker is going to play. So Joe Kuether, the tough pro, the guy I think's the most consistent out here on tour, taking down another pot.
And there's the beautiful Champions Cup. All the players have their name inscribed, only the winners, of course, on that beautiful Champions Cup.
Joe openly admits he's a cheesehead, big fan of the Packers, and of course his alma mater, the Wisconsin Badgers.
Well, he is raised with just a 9-8, Jerry out, but Maurice gonna fold, and now Jim Gilbert with a Jack-10 of diamonds appears interested.
And he's gonna make the call.
David going out, so two-way action between these two guys, the two chip leaders.
Nice flop there for Jim. He's flop top pair, but he's gonna check. Joe's got the open end straight draw, and he also checks. Now the deuce of hearts comes off. Again, action on Jim. Just can't imagine you're gonna check top pair again.
Bets 350 into the man with the open-ended.
And a call with the open end straight by Joe Kuether.
Open to strike gold. Let's see if Kuether can get lucky. River card coming up.
Well, a 6 comes off. This gives Kuether the best hand possible. The 10 high straight. Vince, it just doesn't look like that intimidating of a card. So if you have top pair, you're going to bet again. That's what Jim is doing. 675,000, but he's about to get the bad news because Joe's definitely going to raise it.
Well, he only has the nuts.
Yeah, but if you were sitting in Jim's seat, you're thinking the guy would have bet an open-end straight draw on the flop if he had it. He didn't.
Here comes the hammer, close to 1.8.
It's another 1.1 million to Jim. Let's see if he can read this right. He's now thinking, you got to be kidding me. The guy made a straight. He's slow playing me all along. I don't know, but I'm getting out of here. He makes a good fold.
Andes are going up to 20,000. Blinds are 60, 120. Action on Maurice. Quickly folds his hand, Jim Gilbert.
He's going out. David Paredes out as well. Well, Joe's won the last 3 pots on a little heater here, so why not raise on the button here with the 7-5 suited? He does it, makes it 265,000 to go.
And Jerry Payne with a Jack 10. He's made close to 600,000 in worldwide earnings. He's going to make this call.
So Joe raises out of the small blind with 7-5 of spade, gets called by the big blind with the Jack 10. Flop comes 4-4-3. This gives Joe a gut shot straight draw. Knows he's not going to win the pot checking it down, so he's going to lead out and bet. Jerry gives it up, can't call anymore with just a Jack 10. And Joe Kuether takes down yet another pot. Vince, right now it is the Joe show. When it comes to being on the green felt, this is no ordinary Joe.
We saw Joe before at a WPT final table back at the Bay 101, season 11. Action on Jim Gilbert, folds his hand. David Paredes also out. And now Joe with a 9-7.
Well, he's on the button. He's going to raise it again, this time 240,000.
Jerry out and Maurice Hawkins, former college football player.
Very smart too, Vince. He majored in biology and minored in chemistry at Alabama A&M. Actually considered being a heart surgeon.
Haven't we all? He's called with 8-3.
His wife, April, in the house tonight rooting him on, but she needs to root a lot. He's just got an 8-3 here. Doesn't help on this flop of Jack 10-5. He is going to check. And Joe with a gut shot straight draw. He's going to make a bet and take down the pot.
Good things are happening for Joe right now.
This guy is a machine at poker.
All right, action on David, quick fold. Joe Kuether now with a pretty decent ace-5 of spades, raises.
Well, players are going to get tired of this soon, Vince. He's just raised 4 pots in a row, won them all. You finally pick up an ace-jack. You're most likely going to come back over the top of him, and that's exactly what Maurice is doing here. Makes it 600,000 to go.
Jim out, back on Kuether.
Joe going nowhere, makes the call with the ace-5 of spade. Flop, queen 7 deuce rainbow.
Check.
Maurice checks. Joe checks right behind him. Now a 3 comes off. And now all of a sudden Maurice is going to bet. Might have won the pot if he'd have made a continuation bet. Might still win it, but Joe now has a gut shot straight draw. And he's going to make the call.
Going to the river.
And a 6 comes off.
Check.
Check by Maurice. And now Joe going to try to get Maurice off the best hand here by betting. And a healthy bet, 925,000. Let's see how Maurice can call here. He doesn't. He lays it down. Chalk another pot up to Joe Kuether.
Let's take a look. It's a queen 5 of hearts.
Well, Vince, I guess he's just going to play every pot to a loose one. He's going to raise it up here with a queen 5. Makes it 250,000 to go.
Jerry out, a quick call by Maurice, who has a 6 deuce, has position.
I'm not a fan of this call on the button. I could see you 3-betting it and take the lead to try to win the pot in case you missed the flop, but his call then brings in David Paredes out of the blind as well, so we're going to have 3-way action here.
Flop comes king, queen, 8. 2 clubs. David's got the flush draw, but checks.
Joe has queens.
He's going to check middle pair. And Maurice is going to check his Garfunkel. Now a jack comes off, so gives David a gut shot straight draw to go along with his flush draw. He checks. Now Joe's reaching for chips, going to bet the 2 queens. Feels like they're the best hand at the moment. Indeed they are. Bets 375,000.
Maurice goes out, and now Paredes.
He is getting out raising chips. Those yellow chips are 100,000 apiece. And he is check raising here to 900,000. He's played tight all day. Just thought he'd get respect by raising. Indeed he does. As Joe goes out, well done by David Paredes there. And he breaks into a grin, Vince. Wonder if that sends a message to Joe. Ha ha ha, got you there.
David Paredes, a tough player, has made over 1.5 million in total lifetime earnings. Back to the next hand, quick fold by Jim Gilbert. And Paredes now out as well. Now Joe with ace-5 of spades, gonna just call.
Limps in on the button. Jerry goes out.
Check.
And Maurice happy to see a flop with a 10-6. Says, all right, let's go. And a good flop it is for Maurice as he's flopped 2 pair, queens and 6s, and leads right out and bets 120,000. Joe with the ace high, thinking it might be good, makes the call. Now queen comes off. This gives Maurice a full house.
Check.
But he is going to check. Get called on the flop. Fearful Joe might have an overpair.
Joe is checking as well. Now look at this. Maurice has bet before the card came out, 175.
He bet in the dark, Vince.
Yes, he did.
Now when a guy bets in the dark, you're wondering, why would he do that? Joe going to make a hero call here with ace high. It's not going to work, though, as Maurice shows him a full house and is going to take down the pot, and Maurice happy to be stacking chips.
WPT Global is committed to being the most fair and secure poker site in the world. Data-driven AI detection technology eliminates collusion and ensures a fair environment for everyone. With zero tolerance for bots and cheaters, WPT Global is trusted by millions of players worldwide. Click the link in the description. Use the code YT11 on deposit and get our welcome package with tournament tickets, deposit match, and more.
Let's go to Joe Kuether.
Speaking of salt water, Joe Kuether looks like an old sea captain, doesn't he?
A little bit, maybe.
Finally found a hand he can throw away, the 9-3 offsuit.
Jerry Payne.
Fold.
250.
Jerry Payne out as well, and Maurice,
At least let me finish saying fold.
a former football player, going to raise it up with the 49ers. Jim goes out over to David Paredes now. You wonder if the snap raised by Maurice hit his attention. He might not be that strong. David's going to make the call with the queen-8 offsuit. Going to defend.
All right, 9-4 versus queen-8.
Flop ace-7-7, 2 diamonds. David checks.
275.
A snap continuation bet at 275 by Maurice. And David is going to give it up. Maurice stacking up chips. That's the beauty of poker. Just shows you don't have to have a hand to win. Just bet.
Maurice is very entertaining. A lot of heart there, and what a poker player. And he has picked up a great hand. Pair of aces.
Well, then you've got to be an amazing woman to have 5 kids and put up with a poker playing husband.
He's raised to 300, and behind him, David with a pair of 9s here.
This hand could spell trouble for David, especially if he 3-bets it here. But he doesn't. He just makes the call on the button with the 2 9s.
Joe Kuether getting out of their way. Jerry Payne doesn't play.
Action is going to be on Maurice after this flop. And the flop is 6 deuce deuce, a very nice flop for 2 aces. And there's a continuation bet of 500,000. But no way you're going to throw away 2 9s here, Vince. He's going to make the call, so this could spell trouble for David.
Turn card 5 of diamonds. Doesn't change much. Maurice is going to slow down and check.
When it got called on the flop, I think you have to continue here on the turn in terms of betting. David checks 2 9s.
Oh no, the 9 on the river. 9's full for David. This is ridiculous.
Maurice bet 700,000 on the river. Action's on David now. He's got 9s full. It's definitely going to get raised, just a matter of how much.
David's wife, Caitlin, in the audience.
What discipline David showed in checking on the turn there. I'm wowed by that.
Here it comes, the hammer coming down.
And what a hammer. A 2 million raise on the river here by David Paredes. And Maurice has got aces up fence, and how do you throw them away here the way this betting's gone? The guy called a raise before the flop, called your bet on the flop. But look at that. Maurice mucks 2 aces, and he mucks them face up to show David, I read you like a book, my friend.
David's not going to show the hand. That's the fold of the year.
That's incredible laydown by Maurice Hawkins right there. Money saved is money earned in poker.
That was the one I needed.
And right there was a perfect example of it.
I'm stunned.
Vince, had he bet on the turn, he would have bet on the river, and that would have been the end of him.
David Paredes this time with a pair of deuces. Quickly muck a pair of deuces. That's surprising. Joe Kuether also out. And now Jerry Payne with a king 9.
On.
He's moving all in on the button with the king 9.
And Maurice this time has queen jack of hearts.
I feel like gambling so bad now that I'm not winning, playing good. I feel like gambling.
He didn't call with 2 aces on the river a minute ago. Now he wants to call an all-in bet with queen high.
He's spinning a little bit.
I don't play good. I fold.
But he does make the fold here.
I call.
Oh, wow.
Well, Maurice has got to feel good about this.
Oh, wow. If a queen come, you would have been bad beat. I had queen jack of hearts.
So you found it.
Jerry all in here. He's got a lot of friends on the rail rooting him on.
King of diamonds.
He needs their rooting help right now because his tournament life is on the line, and he's the underdog.
Let's see if Jerry can get lucky here. No.
Queen! Oh!
Maurice, squawking in the back, realizes he would have hit queens. Jerry in a lot of pain. His king 9 not looking good at this point.
Take a red 7.
I'm not rooting for any suspense on this one.
You want the jack of diamonds then?
10 of clubs.
I'll take the jack of diamonds.
Got an inside straight draw now.
Always a
There's only one left, fellas. Chill out with all that.
Another 4, right?
Wait a minute, 4? 4 for money trees?
Jerry can now win with a jack as well as a king.
So sick.
Can he get lucky here? No, it's a 4 of clubs. Not to be for Jerry.
So Payne feels the pain of going out in 5th place.
Jerry Payne, a good sport, gonna take home $180,000. He said he learned poker watching you, and he's out of here. Let's go commiserate with them.
I feel fine. I don't feel I made any mistakes. I'd rather win, but it's a good run. Beat 1,000 people, so can't complain, I guess.
Joe Kuether with queen 10 of hearts.
Well, playing short-handed poker, you have to play these kind of hands. Joe going to raise it up here, makes it $250,000 to go.
Maurice quickly calling with a 5-4. Going to speculate.
Not a fan of this play. I saw him call a raise on the button a minute ago with a 6 deuce. Now he's called it with a 5-4.
Jim goes out and David as well.
If you're going to play these junk hands, I think you have to 3-bet before the flop, take control of the hand, make continuation bets, and try to win it that way. And look what's happened here. Joe's flop top pair, Maurice's flop bottom pair.
Joe will make the continuation bet.
300. Call.
Getting the call by Maurice.
Maurice doing this on the short stack at the table. So trouble brewing perhaps, but no more maybe. Lightning from Maurice right there. He's made 3 4s. Now Joe's gonna check.
What a card for Maurice Hawkins. Oh wow, and he is going to bet it, 750.
I don't see Joe throwing this hand away.
All in.
Call.
There you go. All in, snap call.
So Maurice Hawkins got lucky on the turn there to make 3 4s and is going to double up unless a queen comes off.
It's always the 4, baby.
Here's Sean Koenig.
Yeah, he's talking to Maurice's sister there saying, we're in good shape here, baby.
I hit 3 4s today.
Lucky still allowed out here on the World Poker Tour. But now he's hoping that luck holds up.
I don't want to look at it. No cider. No cider. No cider. No cider. Hey, I hit the 4 again.
Let's see what happens here, Mike.
4.
It's a 9 of diamonds.
Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Hey, yo. It's always the 4, baby. There's 3 houses with a 4. I made 3 boats with a 4 in this tournament.
Play those junk hands, get lucky, double up, and have some fun. It's party time here at Borgata.
Pump a little bit, homie.
Well, Vancy's all laughs and giggles, but the truth is they got lucky and outdrew Joe in that hand to win it.
It's still allowed.
Appreciate it.
This room is buzzing.
I've heard.
Action on the chip leader, Jim Gilbert. Looks down at a 10-8. You know, when you get mega chips, why not? 250,000 to go.
David, what's up, man?
David's got one of those nice little suited connectors.
Yeah, we all like to see flops with those kind of hands. Well, David does just call. So Maurice Hawkins doing a lot of talking during the play of the hand there.
He gone. But at 120 more?
But he's got a 9-7. He's going to join the party.
I'll let you boy down.
Nope, opposite lay down.
Two-handed action.
And here comes the flop. King 6-5. Rainbow flop. Action is on Jim. And he's going to make a continuation bet here. 300,000. David with middle pair. Backdoor straight, backdoor flush draw. Just going to call. So the 5 of hearts comes on the turn. That gives David a flush draw to go along with his 2 pair. He'll be going nowhere. Action's on Jim. He's going to check. Just essentially waving the white flag here. David Paredes. $250,000 into a pot. It's got 1.35 million in it. But that little bet, enough to get the job done. David Paredes stacking up chips. His wife Caitlin clapping for him. Happy to see her man doing well.
All right, the blinds are going up to 81.60 with a $20,000 ante. Action on Joe. Just taking a hit there, and Joe has a pair of jacks.
Yeah, got the fish hooks. Gonna raise. Makes it 350,000 to go.
And Maurice again gonna call with a junk hand, 8-7.
He's on the button. He just calls raises with these junk hands. It worked out well for him last time when he made 3 4s, but I don't think this is winning poker. I think you have to 3-bet with these kind of hands, take the lead and try to win the pot rather than try to outdraw your opponent to win them.
Flop comes up queen 5-3. And they both check. 5 on the turn, pairs the board.
Again, Joe checking, just doesn't want to get raised out of this pot. And Maurice checking right behind him, didn't fall for that trap. Now a 4 comes off. Possible straight, possible flush out there, but very unlikely anybody's going to have that. There's nobody's bet since before the flop. And Joe, very confident his 2 jacks are the best hand now. He's going to make a wager of $525,000 to take down that pot.
Ace is any good?
Maurice getting away from trouble there.
He makes that quip because he showed him 2 aces that he folded earlier at this final table. A fold we're still shocked about, I might add.
Fold by Mo and Jim now.
he's going to make a button raise, 360,000.
David out. Joe with Jack 5 of clubs will make this call. King 7 versus Jack 5, and the flop is a King Jack 9.
The two young guys, the two chip leaders going at it again. One's got top pair, Jim. Joe's got middle pair. Goes check, check. I can't believe that Jim would check top pair here after raising pre-flop, especially with the possibility that a straight or a flush could come up, as is the possibility on the turn when the 8 of diamonds hit.
Now Joe gonna take a stab at it. He bets 475.
He is betting for value here. He thinks jacks are the best hand after his opponent checked on the flop. We know they're not, but he doesn't. Jim makes the call. And now Jim makes kings and 7s. Jim also had a king high flush draw on the turn. Now Joe is checked, and now Jim is betting here, but what can he get paid off with that he's going to win the pot with? Only possibility of 2 pair, I suppose. Joe's going to lay down the 2 jacks.
WPT Global is committed to being the most fair and secure poker site in the world. Data-driven AI detection technology eliminates collusion and ensures a fair environment for everyone. With zero tolerance for bots and cheaters, WPT Global is trusted by millions of players worldwide. Click the link in the description. Use the code YT11 on deposit and get our welcome package with tournament tickets, deposit match, and more.
Down to the pit we go. Action on Jim Gilbert. Quick fold by him. David out of Brookline, also going to fold. Joe Kuether now.
Yeah, Joe's in a small blind, but he's going to raise it up to 400,000. And Maurice with a Jack 10 wants to see a flop, so he makes the call. Maurice has him dominated. Flop comes ace 9-3, 2 clubs. Joe reaching for continuation betting chips, and he does make it. 450,000. And you just see the look in Maurice's face. He just can't go any farther with Jack 10 here. Gives it up. Joe Kuether taking down the pot. Just shows you the power of raising before the flop and making the continuation bet. That's why Joe won the pot.
Action on Maurice. He's going to take a look at a nice pair of 10s.
That's a very nice hand in a 4-handed poker game. He's going to raise it to 350,000.
Jim goes out, and now David. Oh boy, he has picked up a pair of aces.
David Paredes, who's been very conservative thus far at this final table, made 1 good check raise on a drawing hand to win a pot. But other than that, hasn't really caught any cards. He's got a hand here. He's going to 3-bet it to 880,000.
Joe out, and Maurice has snap all in.
I call. 80,000.
I call.
And obviously David's going to call. Maurice just pushing hard here. Can't really blame him.
Well, Vince, he's on the short stack at the table. Picks up 2 10s. That's a big hand in a 4-handed game.
10 for a sweat.
Even though David's been very conservative thus far, tough not to move all in with 10s there.
Hey, you beat my aces, so it's only right if I beat your aces, right?
Just a short while ago, he had aces against David Paredes' 2 9s. David caught a 9 on the river to win that pot.
9-7-8 is a good flop too. Just open in it. No, 9-7-8 for a sweat too. All right, I need a 9-7-8 flop.
Here we go. Can Mo get lucky? Not there as a Jack 4 deuce appears.
Spade, spade, back door.
Oh.
Spade. Come on, give me some outs.
Some hope for Maurice, a backdoor flush.
6 of spades.
In spades would win the pot for him, other than a 10.
6 of spades. Spade.
Mo got
Here
a
we go, we
spade.
got 18%er. Oh, actually, a little bit more. 6 of spades.
Any spade will do.
6 of spades.
Any 10 will do.
Whatever that means.
David's still a 3-1 favorite to win the pot, though. Staying calm, cool, and collected.
Look at me. 6 of spade. 6 of spade.
Our river.
I think it's coming. 6 of spade.
Can he get it? Nope, a 5 of hearts on the river.
Well, that's going to do it for the Hawk. Maurice Hawkins out tonight in 4th place. Picked up the 10 with a short end of the 4 left. Most guys were getting in advance. Just wasn't meant to be.
Here's Maurice has to take that long walk down the boardwalk of Atlantic City. Out in 4th place. Going to take home 220,000. Let's go see what he has to say.
I mean, what can you do? I mean, I pretty much played every spot right. I don't think of a spot I played bad. You gotta learn, take it like a man, regroup, go get my 200 grand and call it a night. It's wonderful having my wife here and my friends and family because they give you support.
Baby.
He hit a 2-outer, and then he gets aces on me. Nice life. Those guys ain't better than me at all. They not better than me. That's all I can tell you. Nobody at that table better than me. Let me get out of here because I'm gonna say something wrong. Ain't nobody over there better than me.
The winner's gonna take home a whopping $723,000 here tonight. Let's go to the felt. Joe Kuether with a pair of sevens.
Picks up the walking sticks on the button, gonna raise it to $350,000.
Jim Gilbert, our chip leader with King Jack, just gonna call.
Well, David getting the right price. He's got ace-9. He wants to see a flop too. He joins the party. So everybody playing in a raised pot. Flop king-8 deuce. Jim has flopped top pair and checks.
David checking behind him. They all check. So we're going to the turn, and it's a 7.
The dream card for Joe Kuether right there.
3 of a kind.
Has them all drawn dead.
Jim let him in, and now he's betting. Everything going backwards. 525. David out.
Joe Kuether just calls, does not raise with 3 sevens here.
Guys, disguise the strength of your hand. The river card pairs the board, so 7's full for Kuether.
Well, Jim's probably thinking he had a straight draw or one of those middle pairs, so he's going to make what he thinks is the value bet here. 1.1 million on the river, but this pot is going to get raised, folks. Make no mistake about it, just a matter of how much. And there it is, a healthy raise, up to 2.7 million. Well, there you see the phony grin by Jim Gilbert right there. He's saying, you've got to be kidding me. This guy was trapping on the flop. Does he really have a full house? He wouldn't raise with anything else, would he? Now, even though you have kings up, you know in your mind all you can beat is a bluff here. If he had a king or any other kind of pair, he would just call here in the river. He wouldn't raise, so he's either got a full house or zippity-doo-dah. Can Jim Gilbert figure it out?
Well, he's got a lot of chips, so he can afford the curiosity call. But he makes a great laydown.
Well, he sure does. Nice laydown by Jim there. So Joe did all he could do to camouflage the strength of his hand until his final bet on the river. But you just wonder what would have happened had Jim let out and bet the flop. Might have won the pot instead of lost a lot of chips.
And Joe's saying, I'm happy, but I could have been much more happy if he would just called me for a little bit more. Anyway, the blinds are going up to 1 in 200 with a $25,000 ante.
All right, well, right out of the gate, Jim raising with a jack-4 clubs on the button to $450,000.
David goes out, and Joe Kuether has called with king-5. Let's go to the flop. It is a king, 10-9.
Joe has flopped top pair. He's going to check. Jim has the gut shot straight draw. Also got steam coming out of his ears from the last pot. And he's going to bet $550,000. Joe staring him down there. Just can't see him throwing away top pair, and he's not. He's going to make the call here.
To the complete discomfort there of Jim.
Putting that sweater up to his mouth again so he didn't gag where Joe can see him.
3 of diamonds. Joe's going to check. Invite another bet. Nope.
It's check, check. Now a 7 comes off. And again, Joe checks top pair. He's hoping the guy will bluff at it on the river. I mean, Jim's got to know that's the only way he could win at the pot, but he just gives it up, waves the flag, says, you take this one, maybe I'll get the next one. Doesn't lose any more chips, though. Joe Kuether taking down the pot.
He's starting to punish these guys, getting right back in there. Jim's still the chip leader, but not by much.
And look how close the chip count's getting now. 11-8 for Jim Gilbert, but David and Joe both sitting on about 9.5 million.
Now this time David has a pretty strong ace-queen. He's first to act. He will make the raise to 425. Joe Kuether folds. Jim has ace-jack.
He's played conservative all night. Now he's going to 3-bet the guy who's played the tightest at the table in David.
To 1.3 million.
Oh boy. He is getting 4-bet. What a bet here by David Paredes. Almost 3 million, 2.9 something million. And now I think you just take the ace-jack and just throw it away.
All in.
Whoa! He has moved all in.
Call.
And David has made the call with ace-queen. Wow. Vince, I'm a little bit shocked at both of those plays. That is a tough call to make. If David's hand holds up, he'll be the big chip leader with 3 left. If not, we'll be down to heads-up play, and Jim Gilbert will have a massive chip lead.
And the flop is a king 9-7.
Well, if the board paired twice, they'd split the pot, but Jim knows he's got to hit 2 runners to make a straight or catch a jack to win this pot.
David's ace-queen out in front.
Well, the board pairs kings.
Always a sweat.
Jim can win the pot with a jack. He'll split it with a 9 or a 7. Otherwise, David is going to double up. All right, everybody on their feet.
It's a 10.
Well, a 10. So David Paredes has doubled up and taken the chip lead for the first time at this final table. Well, there you see David's wife, Caitlin. She can breathe now. Her man's doubled up. He's still alive, and he's got the chip lead.
Was just a few hands ago, Jim was dominating. Now, he's on a short stack.
WPT Global is committed to being the most fair and secure poker site in the world. Data-driven AI detection technology eliminates collusion and ensures a fair environment for everyone. With zero tolerance for bots and cheaters, WPT Global is trusted by millions of players worldwide. Click the link in the description. Use the code YT11 on deposit and get our welcome package with tournament tickets, deposit match, and more.
So let's take a look at the chip count. David Paredes from Brookline, Massachusetts, well out in front with 19 million. Joe Kuether in second with 9.2 million. Jim Gilbert sitting in third place right now with 2.5 million.
First place, 723,000. And 25 blinds are 1 and 200,000. Let's do this. Action's going to Jim Gilbert, a local out of Pennsylvania.
He came to this final table as the big chip leader and had it most all the way until the last pot where he just doubled up David Paredes. And David's going to raise it out of the small blind with king 5 of diamonds. Joe Kuether, one of the most consistent, toughest players in the world, makes the call out of the big blind.
And the flop is a king 5-4 that gives 2 pair for David Paredes, our chip leader.
He's going to lead right out and bet 625,000. Joe, of course, nowhere near connecting on that flop, gives it up. David Paredes extends his chip lead.
David graduated from Harvard, worked on Wall Street, now a professional poker player.
He said he's out for redemption here. He finished second here at Borgata a couple years ago.
All right, Jim has picked up the weapons of mass destruction, pair of aces.
All in.
Goes all in with it. David out. Joe with a pair of 3s.
What is it? 2.5, 55. Call.
Joe's going to make this call.
I'm a little surprised at that. It's another 2.3 something million for him to make this call. He knows the best position he can be in is in a race. Then he's got to try to win it, but I'm not sure Joe's going to be happy with himself for making this call.
Well, maybe he feels lucky. Will he be here? Not there. It's a deuce king. Jim Gilbert and the aces out in front.
Yeah, Jim breaking into a little grin right there. Knowing he's way out in front right now.
Going to the turn, there's no 3 there, it's a 6. So Jim, the local, 27 years old, with a chance of doubling up now. Just got to sweat one more card, here it comes.
Well, it's a 10 on the river.
He's safe.
And Vince, I don't think Joe Kuether's made a bobble at this final table until possibly that play where some might think it's a little bobble, including me. So Jim Gilbert doubling up to get back in the hunt here.
Jim Gilbert's cards. 3 king.
Man, he's going to make a button raise here.
Right, he makes it to 450. David goes out. Joe Kuether has an ace 5 of hearts. Makes the call.
And flop is 9-4-3.
So Jim gets a piece of that.
Joe is checked. Jim's got bottom pair. He's going to bet. 450,000, and Joe with the gut shot straight draw. He's going to make the call.
Going to the turn.
Well, an ace comes off.
Wow.
Joe now has the best hand with 2 aces, as well as the straight draw. He checks. And Jim wisely checks right behind him. But now a king comes off, giving Jim 2 pair and the best hand. Yes, there's 3 diamonds out there, but Joe is betting this hand for value right here, folks. He thinks the 2 aces are the best hand, the way this betting's gone.
And Jim, just when you thought you were giving up on your hand, you make something work there.
Well, he's definitely going to call. We're not going to raise with 3 diamonds out there, but you do make the call. And he's going to win the pot with 2 pair. And Joe takes a big swallow right there. He knows he was outdrawn on the river.
Well, Jim Gilbert needed a big break, and he's getting it right there. He's coming back. Blinds are still 1 and 200. Action on Joe. This time looks down at a pretty solid king, jack of diamonds.
He is going to raise it
to 400,000, and now Jim has an ace-6, staring his man Joe down.
And he just got lucky and beat him the last pot on the river, so he's going to 3-bet right here to 1.1 million.
David gets out of their way.
But Joe's going to make the call and look at a flop. So same 2 guys battling it out.
Jim in front with ace-6, up against king, jack of diamonds.
Now flop 10-9-5. Action's on Jim. He's going to check the ace high. Joe with the gut shot straight, checks right behind him. Now a deuce comes off. Jim out in front with an ace high. He's going to check.
Neither player has a piece of this, but Joe is going to take a plunge here.
Well, Vancy's saying the guy checked twice in a row to me. Looks like he's just got ace high. Let me bet this hand, see what happens.
800,000.
Just tough to call with ace-6 in this spot. Jim lays it down, so nice bet on the turn there by Joe Kuether. Wins him the pot.
3-handed action continues. Action on Jim Gilbert, the local from Pennsylvania. Has a lot of pride in the back east players.
He looks down at 3-4 diamonds. He's on the button. Looks like he's going to make a position raise. Indeed he is. 450,000 to bet.
Chip leader David goes out, and now Joe Kuether will make the call with a king-5. And the flop is a king 10-8, but they're all diamonds.
Wow.
Gilbert has flopped the flush.
Yeah, this pot could spell doom for Joe Kuether. Joe checked. Jim is betting 550,000 here. And when you flop top pair in a flush draw, it's hard not to get a lot of chips in the pot. Joe just calls, though, doesn't raise. So we're going to the turn. Now the ace of hearts comes off. That card could save Joe some money, possibly. He checks. Fearful his opponent's made 2 aces, perhaps. Jim, of course, with the diamond flush. Well, Jim is going to bet his flush on the turn. 675,000. Only about a third the size of the pot. And Joe is going to make the call. As the cards lie, Joe must catch a diamond to win this pot.
River card coming up. Will it be a diamond? No, it's an 8 of hearts.
The board pairs 8. And again, Joe checks. Action's on Jim. Let's see how much he wants to extract or attempt to extract from his opponent here by getting a value bet in.
All in.
Wow. He's bet 3.5 million here.
He wants it all.
Well, he wants it all. Maybe the oversized bet will make Joe think he's bluffing, but I'm not sure he's going to. I just can't see him calling 3.5 million with just 2 kings here. And Joe's going to lay it down. I think that large bet might have cost him some money, Vince. I think if he'd bet 800,000 or a million, might have got paid off.
Yeah, Let's go to the guy from Brookline, Massachusetts, David. He's got a 4-3. Quickly mucks his hand, and Joe Kuether with king 3 of clubs will just call. And Jim Gilbert, jack deuce, just calling. The flop is a jack 9-10.
Well, Joe, with just a gut shot straight draw, it's going to lead out in bed here. 200,000, but Jim with top pair going nowhere makes the call.
Turn card is a queen. That gives Joe a straight to the king.
Just a dream card for Joe Kuether right there. So he hits the gut shot straight. He's checking it. As there's 3 spades on the board, I guess. We're hoping his opponent will bluff at it.
And it goes check, check.
Now a 6 on the river. Well, Joe, now confident his king high straight is good, is going to bet 475,000. That's with 2 jacks here. All you can beat is a stone cold bluff.
He's going to get out.
Joe Kuether taking down that pot.
And these are up to 50,000 blinds, a 153, Mike.
Ooh, putting the pressure on us.
And Jim Gilbert this time.
700?
Ace deuce of diamonds will make it 700,000 to go.
David out. Joe Kuether with a nice king queen. See what he's going to do.
All in.
Well, he's going to ship it for $5 million.
And Jim just doesn't want to stick around, goes away. Joe Kuether will take this one.
Well, it's the 2 bearded guys, the 2 youngest players at the table, seemingly playing all the pots right now. Chip leader David Paredes has just gotten a rocking chair. He's just going to sit back till one of these guys get broke and then play heads up for the title.
Now Joe Kuether has a queen 10. Joe makes it 600,000 to go. Jim now with an ace 3.
All in.
He's going to go all in. David out.
He said, look, you moved all in on me the hand before. Why can't I do it to you this time? Nice all-in bet by Jim there to take down that pot.
WPT Global is committed to being the most fair and secure poker site in the world. Data-driven AI detection technology eliminates collusion and ensures a fair environment for everyone. With zero tolerance for bots and cheaters, WPT Global is trusted by millions of players worldwide. Click the link in the description. Use the code YT11 on deposit and get our welcome package with tournament tickets, deposit match, and more.
And he has a pair of 9s. Gotta like a nice wired pair.
$700,000.
He'll make it 700,000 to go. David behind him with a king queen. Makes the call. And Joe Kuether with an ace jack.
Let's see what he does.
All in.
He's going to squeeze here. He's moving all in over the top with the ace jack.
All in.
Gilbert goes over the top, all in with his 9s. Gets David to go out.
Could have ended this. I know. Come on.
So if Joe wins this pot, we'll still be 3-handed. If Jim's 9s stand up, we'll be down to heads-up play.
Don't forget, ace jack was the hand that Jim lost his entire first place stack with. Maybe some irony here.
Gotta win races to win tournaments. Who's gonna get lucky here?
The flop is an 8-5-4. That is good for Jim.
Yeah, very good for Jim. He's well out in front with the 2 9s.
Joe Kuether, the most experienced player at the table, in a lot of trouble.
You're looking for an ace or a jack and hits an ace on the turn. There you see the grimace and the pain. Fell by Jim Gilbert there. No reaction, of course, by Joe Kuether. He's a stoic guy at the table. Doesn't laugh, doesn't joke. All business.
What a turn card for Joe.
Knows it's not over. Got to dodge a 9 on the river, and he does it. As the 4 comes off, Joe Kuether going to double up.
510 or 550?
Yeah. Well, he had to get lucky to do it. He did so. Reversal of fortune. Now Jim Gilbert back on that short stack with 2.7. Oh, this game can be brutal.
Well, he was down to this amount once before at this final table, and bounce back to double up and around 7-8 million. Let's see if he can do it again from the short stack.
David, our chip leader, with a king 10 and the button, and he'll move it up to 600,000 to go. In raise. Joe Keith are going to take a breather. Jim now with ace deuce.
All in.
Saying all in.
2,075,000 more.
David making this call.
Jim Gilbert's tournament life on the line. David making that call because he could well afford to make it. Knows if he can win this pot, he'll be a big chip leader playing heads up for the title.
Here comes the flop. And it's a good one for Jim Gilbert. 855. No problems yet for Jim Gilbert. Turn card. It's a jack, another safe card for Jim. One card away from doubling up.
Well, David must catch a king or a 10 to win it.
Six of spades on the river.
So again, Jim Gilbert battling back from the short stack to double up to stay alive.
It's okay, come on, David.
They just won't die off here, Vince.
That's right, an epic battle here at the Borgata Poker Open. But action's on Jim Gilbert. He's got the button, he's got a strong ace-jack of spades.
All in.
There you go.
Well, he is going all in with it.
See if he gets action. David out. And Joe with pretty strong ace-9.
Cool.
He's making the call.
Joe just assumed the chip lead and could just as quickly give it up if he doesn't get lucky here. Well, Vince, ace-jack has been extremely unlucky for Jim Gilbert so far at this final table. He's got broke with it, and he's got broke against it.
The flop is an ace-10-5. Beautiful for Jim.
Yep, Jim looking good this time with his two aces and a better kicker.
Joe just hating that flop. Here we go to the turn. 7. It is safe for Jim.
Well, neither player has a heart in their hand. So Joe must catch a 9 on the river.
If he does so, he'll knock out his man. It'll be heads up, but it's a 4 diamonds.
So there you go. Jim Gilbert has battled back from the bottom of the heap to where he now sits in a strong second chip position.
He just won't go away.
He was at the top for a long time, now at the bottom. He's battling back, and like that man said, he just won't go away. Cards go to Jim first. He's got just an 8-4.
Well, he goes out. David Paredes in a small blind. Looks like he's just going to limp in and call with the king 5 of clubs. Because he just called, Joe going to try to win the pot right here. Might be steaming a little from the last pot, raises it to 800,000 with just an 8-4. So a $500,000 more to David, who calls it with the king 5. And when it comes king 6 deuce, nice flop for David. He's got top pair and checks. Joe checks right behind him. Now a 5 comes off. David now has 2 pair. Joe with the two-way straight draw.
David's gonna bet $1,250,000. And Joe, he's gonna shovel it out, it looks like.
Is he gonna call or is he gonna raise? Just makes the call, takes the conservative route against the chip leader.
Hoping to hit. And the river card is a 6, so Joe does not hit.
It's gotta be a bit of a scare card for David.
David's gonna check it.
Because that kills his kings and 5s. He's now got kings and 6s with a bad kicker. And here comes Joe. Knows he has to bet to win. He's going to try it right here. 1.7 million. And if you're David, you're sick right now. You had kings and 5s. Now the best you can do is kings and 6s with no kicker. Your opponent could have a flush, could have been slow playing a straight, could have a better king. What you can beat is a bluff, and that's what he's got, is a bluff. David Paredes is going to win this pot and increase his chip lead.
David Paredes. His wife loving that moment.
Well, she should love it, Vance. That was a tough call to make.
Quick fold by David Paredes. Joe Kuether now with a 10-8 of diamonds.
All in.
Well, he's moving all in here.
Call.
And Jim is going to call with ace-6.
Joe going to have to get lucky to stay alive in this tournament. So far in this 300 battle, numerous times. The all-in player has stayed alive.
Flop is a 6 jack deuce, so very good for Jim.
Well, 2 sixes now for Jim. Still out in front. Got to dodge a backdoor straight, backdoor flush.
And a 5 of diamonds. Wait, not so fast.
Always a sweat.
You can now win the pot with a diamond, a 10, or an 8. A lot of outs for Joe.
Yes, he does. The 6 is still a nice favorite to knock out Kuether. Down the river we go. And the diamond hits. Oh, man. Deuce of diamonds makes Joe Kuether the flush.
Nobody will die in this three-handed battle.
They won't.
Joe Kuether finally cracking a little bit of a smile after hitting a backdoor flush to win that pot to stay alive. He normally is very stoic, stern, all business on the green felt.
All right, the blinds are up to 2 and 400. Jim first to act. He's got king 5, but he doesn't want to play. David behind him with a pair of 8s.
David just limps in with 2 8s. Joe with just a jack 7. He's got the 7 come 11, but it's going to check, see the free flop. And here it comes, 7 6 4. So David has the overpair and the straight draw. Joe has got top pair. Could spell trouble for him. Well, David's going to lead out and bet 550,000. It's hard to throw away top pair in this spot when your opponent didn't raise pre-flop. Never going to put him on an overpair here. Joe's going to make the call. King of hearts comes off, so now there's 3 hearts out there. Possible flush, possible straight, and David's seen enough to check. Now let's see what Joe does with 2 7s. Probably feels like they're the best hand, but didn't want to get check raised out of the pot, so he also checks.
River card, ace of diamonds, changes nothing. Fear card there, though, for both players.
Well, my guess it could go check, check again with that river card.
Yeah, David casually checking. They both check.
Does go check, check, and David Paredes going to win this pot with pocket 8s. David, a childhood actor, Vince. He retired at that career when he was 8 years old, he said.
See David, 18 million in chips.
Former lawyer out in front.
Action on Kuether. He's got queen 4 of hearts. And he's going to fold that. And now Jim with an 8-7 of clubs.
All in.
Whoa.
Wow, Jim going all in here.
Taking a stab. David with ace 4 of spades. He likes it. He's going to make this call.
Just sensed the overbet. He wasn't that strong. Called him with the weak ace. It's the best hand. Let's see if it holds up for David.
David with a big opportunity to knock out the local Jim Gilbert right now, and the flop is at 8-5-3. That is good for Jim. He's out flopped, David.
David wincing over there. Knows he's been out flopped.
Let's have a straight draw.
Now must catch a deuce or an ace to take the lead.
There is no safe haven here at Borgata. Going to the turn. It is a 6.
Good one.
Now that means a 7 would win the pot for David, as well as a deuce or an ace.
Deuce.
What drama? Last card coming up. It's a 5 of spades.
We still have 3 left, and we have a new chip leader at the final table. Jim Gilbert has reassumed the chip lead. And Jim was all the way down to $2 million at one point in this three-handed battle. He has now battled his way back up to nearly 15 million.
Big rock, paper, scissors in this table, huh?
Oh, that's true. Another game I've lost a lot of money in. Big seesaw battle he's been going through. And right now he's got a 9-7 with the button.
Yeah, I'm going to make a button raise there.
Makes it 800,000 to go. David goes out. Joe Kuether, though, with an 8-7.
Yeah, going to make the call.
The flop is a king, jack, 9.
Okay, Joe's got the gut shot straight draw and checks. Jim's got bottom pair.
He bet before the flop, but no, he's not going to make the continuation bet. Kind of surprising.
Very surprising to me. Now 6 comes off, giving Joe an open-end straight draw. See what he's going to do. And he said the guy didn't bet the flop. He must not have any of that. Let me just try to steal the pot right here. So Joe is going to bet 1.1 million. And this is the problem. When you don't make the continuation bet, you're at a guess as to what to do. And Jim guessed wrong as he folded there.
Got to run away with the tail beneath your legs. Not attractive.
If you're going to raise pre-flop with 9-7 offsuits, I think you have to make continuation bets when your opponents check to you, but there'll be a continuation bet here by David, I promise you. He's picked up 2 aces on the button.
Makes it 980, and Joe Kuether picks up a huge hand as well, ace-king.
This could be doomed for Joe Kuether, Vince.
All in.
He's gone all in. Jim out, and of course the insta-call.
It's automatic, just what we call a cooler in the business. You can't get away from it. In a 3-handed poker game, especially when blinds are this high.
Give me covered, right?
I've got like 8, 9, 9, 7, 9, 8.
Like 9, 5. It's a good spot.
2 guys that have made World Poker Tour final tables, but never champions before. Here comes the flop, and it is a 5-5-9. That is safe for David.
Yeah, very safe.
Crowd on its feet.
It's got to come king-king, Vince, or 5-5 to get the split. Nothing else will do.
But he catches the king. This is not over. David looked sickened there.
Could he possibly hit king-king to win this pot?
If he does, I'm going to see this piece of paper. I'll eat it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, always a sweat.
Oh, please, I hate paper. Don't make me eat the paper. I don't have to. It's a queen of hearts.
Well, tough luck for Joe Kuether. Played so good all night long. Then ran into what we call a cooler. Ace-king versus aces. Joe Kuether out tonight in 3rd place.
Highly respected in the poker world. You can see why. Unlucky right now, but he's lucky to take home $262,000. Let's go talk to Joe.
No, I mean, I'm obviously feeling a little disappointed. I wanted to win, but, you know, 3-handed, we went back and forth quite a bit and, you know, just ran into cooler in the end and couldn't win. I'll take a big win any day, and, you know, I might not show emotion more than most people, but, you know, I still care just as much and just, you know, trying to do my best. Hopefully I'll be back soon.
WPT Global is committed to being the most fair and secure poker site in the world. Data-driven AI detection technology eliminates collusion and ensures a fair environment for everyone. With zero tolerance for bots and cheaters, WPT Global is trusted by millions of players worldwide. Click the link in the description. Use the code YT11 on deposit and get our welcome package with tournament tickets, deposit match, and more.
Well, David Paredes in good shape to get that title as right now. He's the chip leader with 2 left. He has 19.8 million. Jim Gilbert, 11 million.
Lines of 200 and 400. Here we go. Action on Jim Gilbert, the 27-year-old.
He looks down at an ace-deuce. Any ace is a good hand playing heads-up poker, and Jim knows that, so he's going to raise this to 1 million.
Into David, the former child actor. Went to Harvard, now known poker player. He's going to call with an 8-6 and speculate. Here's the first 3.
Now flop comes 9-7-4, so David's flopped an open-end straight draw. He's going to check, and Jim checks right behind him.
No continuation bet. A queen changes nothing.
What will David do now? Well, he is going to bet 1 million and take the pot down. So David staying aggressive. It wins the pot for him. He extends his chip lead.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing where you don't have to catch the river card. You just take the pot, just steal away. David just doing so. Back into the action. Jim this time with a pair of 8s.
And Jim's going to come in for 1 million.
David on the other hand with a solid ace-6. Just calling.
Flop comes 9-7-6. Nice flop for Jim. He's got the best hand and the best draw. 2 8s and an open-end straight draw. David is checked, bottom pair.
Jim's gonna bet it. 1.1.
David gonna make the call.
4th Street.
And the board pairs 7s. And David's gonna check. And Jim also checks.
River card coming up.
And now an ace comes off.
Oh no.
Giving David the best hand with aces up. Now David's gonna check. Jim checks behind him.
Oh.
Well, there you see the agony of Jim right there as he knows he got outdrawn on the river to lose that pot.
David Paredes and his wife, Caitlin, enjoying the moment. Can he close this out and take home his first WPT championship at Borgata? We will see. He's got a 9-10. He's going to raise to 800,000 to go into Jim, who has ace-4.
All in?
He's going all in. David concedes.
Nice all-in bet by Jim there. That's the power of ace-high playing heads up. You move in, you win a lot of pots.
Looks a little nervous. He's got chips, but you just never know what's going to happen next. It's on him. Well, he's got a pretty strong ace-9. Getting out those raising chips makes it 800,000 with the min raise.
Yeah, it's going to get the job done, though, as Jim goes out. David Paredes been a pro for 6 years. Former lawyer, worked on Wall Street. Quit that to become a poker pro. Got a chance to win his first WPT title.
Second time at the final table, and this could be his time. Jim Gilbert now with a pair of jacks.
Since he's just calling, limping in on the buttons.
Hoping that David has a hand. But does he have a hand? He has a pair of kings.
Well, Vince, this is liable to get raised, re-raised, all in. I'll be shocked if all the money's not in before the flop with these 2 hands.
Raised to 1.2.
All in?
Call.
Yeah, all in and called. Doesn't matter what seat you're sitting in, you're getting all your money in before the flop with either one of these hands.
Good call.
Playing heads up for the title.
I got Jaybirds.
David's in great shape to take home his first ever title. There's his wife, Caitlin.
If David's kings hold up, he will be the king of the Borgata Poker Open.
5 cards to come. Poker destiny on the line. Here's the flop. It's an 8-8 deuce.
So far, so good for David. He's just got to dodge a jack or 2 running diamonds. That's not the king of diamonds to put the crown on his head.
The 36-year-old out of Brookline, Massachusetts, with a big chance. Ace of spades on the turn.
Magnets work.
Well, down to the river. Jim Gilbert must catch a 2-outer, must hit a jack on the river, otherwise David will take down his first WPT title.
And it's a 5 of hearts. He's done it!
He has won the Borgata Poker Open.
Caitlin ecstatic.
Jim Gilbert made a valiant effort, came to the final table as chip leader, just wasn't quite meant to be for him, but really, he did great.
Gonna take home 434,000. Before we talk to our champion, let's talk to the runner-up, Jim Gilbert.
That was awesome. Won it. Sweet.
I came in as chip leader, but honestly, I can't say that I'm disappointed at all. Coming in second with the players that I was going up against is perfectly fine with me, and I think I did a good job of staying out of the way when I needed to and getting involved when I had to. I really held my composure, and I tried my best to fight back, and I definitely think I represented the locals pretty well here, and hopefully I'll be under the lights again soon enough.
And now, let's talk to the winner of the Borgata Poker Open from Brookline, Massachusetts, David Paredes. David, first of all, congratulations. It wasn't that long ago, right here at Borgata, that you were playing heads up for a WPT title, and you finished runner-up. Tell us how much sweeter it is this time around that you crossed the finish line with the cash and the title.
Last time, I felt like I didn't play my best heads up. I don't know if I let the pressure get to me, but I really, really wanted to win this time. And I just told myself I wasn't gonna make any mistakes. I was just gonna play my game and do the best I could because I really wanted that title. It means a lot to me.
Well, you sure did. Your strategy was perfect, your game was perfect, and you are the WPT champion at the Borgata Poker Open. Congratulations one more time. In addition to over $723,000 in cash that you win, you also get this beautiful Hublot watch to commemorate your victory and your name etched forever on the WPT Champions Cup. Let's hear it one more time for our champion, David Paredes.